Okay, everybody, and welcome back to the Nias Pro for day 5 of action. We're going to be starting shortly with women's quarterfinals, so we have 4 of those to roll out. Men's quarterfinals, it's a pretty short program today, so if I was you, I would tune in and watch day 5 of the Nias Pro. Cheers.
The waves coming through. It's not as good as yesterday, but really rippable. So frothing, stoked to take it.
Yeah,
so.
Pro, it's day 6 here. We've had some incredible waves throughout this whole week, and we have the women's semi-finals starting very shortly. It's Lucy Darragh in the red and Kia Hua in the blue. These women have been an incredible force throughout the whole event so far, so this first semi-final is going to be huge. I'm True Starling, joined in the booth with Di Wacko and Wayana. How do I say your last name, Wayana? Sewell?
Well, the whole thing is Pietramali Sul.
Sul. Okay. Pietramali Sul.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Di, we've had some great surfing, and I can't believe we have finals day today. It's been a big week, but an exciting one at that.
Definitely, it's been a big week. We've seen a lot of lines, barrels, but yesterday it was more about turning, and yeah, we've seen a lot of great actions.
Yeah, we've had big surfing, big moments, big scores as well. Wayana, you got to surf in the event too. Talk me through that. How was it?
It was actually pretty nice. It was my first turn. Went in the heat basically. I didn't really get any waves in the free surf, so it was good fun. It was nice to actually get to know the wave, and yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult with those free surfs. Navigating hundreds of people out there. I think there's about 220 something competitors in this event, so it's incredible to see so many people here. And yeah, we're down to the last 4 competitors for both the men's and the women's. Di, I mean, I know that it's finals day. I'm sure we're going to see some huge surfing, but highlights so far.
Well,
that's a big one. I know.
That's a big
Sorry.
one. But
too early?
Day number 4 is actually highlight.
Yeah.
All of the heats were highlight. We've seen 9.97 from Benny, and that was one of the highlights as well. But the biggest highlight will be the Japanese surfers getting those high 9s in the heat, especially Monojo getting 9.67, and Jing got a 9.73, if I'm right. And those are the moments that I have to remember.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Di. I mean, The 9.93 from Ben Lorenzen was absolutely insane. We saw him unfortunately bow out in the quarterfinals yesterday to Lennox Smith, who we'll see in the second semi-finals of the men's a little bit later on. 35-minute semi-finals today as well, an extra 5 minutes. Conditions seem to be a little bit smaller and a little bit slower, but still some good waves coming through. Have you had eyes on it this morning? Di or Wayana, anyone?
I had a surf.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
How was
nice.
it?
It was actually it was fun. There were sets coming through, but I think because of the high tide and the small waves mixed together, it's a bit fat. But there's definitely opportunity out there. Wait for the right ones and stuff.
Yeah, it seems like lots of playing the patience game for sure.
Right. Another different day, so I'm kind of excited to see how these surfers can play games with the different type of the waves. We had a big waves, we had a good waves for turn yesterday, but we have the tricky condition today, and I'd like to see them how they adapt to the condition.
Yeah, for sure. It's been pretty, every day we've rocked up, it's been a little bit different each time. Day 4 was probably the best of the period, which we weren't even expecting it to be so good. We ended up having a huge day as well. And, today we were expecting it, I think, to be a little bit bigger than what it is. But I was having a coffee at Casa Bebas this morning, watching a few of the waves roll through. And I was like, okay, I think that there's still a few opportunities. And the crowd didn't look that bad. It looked pretty manageable, Wayana.
It was actually, I had a really fun surf. I think there was maybe 5 of us out, 4 of us out at 6 a.m.
Wow.
And kind of stayed like that. Yeah.
That's so exciting. I feel like, all of the QS competitors after today will be leaving Lagundri Bay and heading back to, their homes and preparing for the next QS stop, QS 6000, which is going to be in South Korea at the wave pool, starting on the 18th of July to the 20th. And we have the Pro Juniors starting tomorrow as well, Di.
Wow, another big day is coming on the way. But yeah, there's only a couple of weeks in between the next event, the Korea event, and definitely that's the one to watch.
Yeah.
What looks like at the back, few motions out there. So it looks like Lucy is getting this one.
Yeah, Lucy up on her backhand. She's had an incredible performance so far this event and looking to start off strong in the semis. That was a good second turn for Lucy. She's just 15 years old, so still quite young. This is her first proper year on the QS. That was a great first wave, Di.
Definitely, that was a great wave to start her campaign. Good 2 turn, and second turn was really solid.
Yeah, getting the fins out the back of that wave, locking in a good score to start. We've seen Lucy just go and really just focus on that backhand attack. She's been committing to it each heat, and she's been getting rewarded for it. Kia's had a different approach. She's been searching for those barrels, and she's been finding them pretty much every heat when we didn't even expect them to be there. Wayana, as being a competitor in that as well, is there any kind of takeaways that you got from this last wave of Lucy?
Well, when I watch Lucy surf, I watch the second turn. It looks like she's gonna fall off, but she just always always sticks it. I never see her fall. So there you go, 5, 6, 7 for a small wave. She ripped it.
Yeah.
She surfed it really well.
Yeah, those 2 committed turns being rewarded for Lucy.
Yeah.
Starting off strong with that 5, 6, 7. It's the same surfing we've seen from her all week. It doesn't seem like there's that many barrels this morning, though. So we said that yesterday, but Kia still managed to find it.
Well, hope so. Yeah, hope to see more barrels from Kia, but definitely it's gonna be a turn battle in between red and blue. So yeah, hopefully she can manage to find some barrels out there, but definitely some turns will be needed. But that first wave of Lucy 5, 6, 7 is a great way to start this heat with. There's still plenty of time, 29 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Yeah, these 35-minute semis, that extra 5 minutes is so bit of luxury, honestly. We saw 25-minute heats at the start yesterday. We have 30-minute quarterfinals. We'll go to 35-minute semis and finals today. And for Lucy, she's currently ranked 9th on the Oz rankings at the moment. And she's probably going to increase that a little bit by the end of this event. She got a 17th at the Phillip Island QS 3000. And then she also got a 17th at the Cruy Pro QS 6000 just a couple of weeks ago. So this is her best ever QS result so far. She's not out just yet. Last year, she was just doing the Pro Juniors. She got a 5th at the Skullcandy Pro Junior and then a 3rd at the Lake Mac Pro Junior. So being her first proper QS year and a 3rd or 4th one in for the year, I mean, a semi-finals is a pretty great way to kick off the Nias Pro.
Definitely, making it to semi-final is a big result for her, getting big points, and it's going to be a keeper.
Yeah.
And she's just 1 foot into Challenger Series tour.
Yeah, definitely. And Wayana, we were talking before about you surfing in this event, and you're also at Cruy as well. How's this? They're big events, these back-to-back Indo Leg QS 6000s. How's your time been?
It's actually been really nice. I mean, I'm kind of just getting my footings, my first trip on my own, so it's been a bit of a challenge, but I really enjoyed just the trip and being over here and finding out new things. I didn't do great in both of my heats. I got knocked out first round, but I feel like I've learnt so much, and I think I'm a lot more ready for next year.
Yeah. There's we've been coming back to Cruy and Nias for the last couple of years, and we always get excited. These are definitely the highlight events, and this right now is live action. It's Kia Hewer up on her first wave. Nice first carve. Drives through a second one. Kia had a surf this morning, just gets those 2 turns in. It looks like Lucy is having a look at this one out the back. Big first connection, and drives up and into this second one. Lucy's just...
Oh, she's getting back out.
Yeah, she's trying to get the priority over Kia, which is smart.
Well, that was interesting exchange between red and blue. Blue had the first priority, but looked like Lucy's wave had more walls to work on, more steeper section to work on. So, but I gotta say, it's gonna be Lucy's wave gets a better point.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the replay, Wayana.
Yeah. Yes, Lucy, she's always just committing. She was also, it's that second wave of the set. It's always just a little bit bigger, a little bit steeper. And I mean, it won't be as good as her first wave, but it'll definitely, I reckon, win the exchange.
Yeah, I agree. That first wave of Kia, a 2.5, and last wave of Lucy was a 4. So 2 good scores for Lucy Dara right now, a 5, 6, 7, and a 4. And I feel like game plan for Lucy is to just keep Kia off those ones she thinks is going to barrel, because we know that Kia is good in the tube. She's been dropping 8s and 7s all event, so I have no doubt that she'll be able to do that. I think for Lucy, that backhand attack's been her strength, so she can just rely on that.
Definitely, she's been she up and riding again. Well, just like you said, her backhand is on point, really sharp. Since the first day she was surfing, and then she knew that she needed to go big to get better score. And that's exactly what she did on the last one, but unfortunately went a little bit too high on the first section.
I think that's the first fall I've seen her have.
Yeah, she's been pretty consistent throughout this whole time, and surfing above her years, really. This is a semi-final, Battle of the Groms right now. Lucy's 15. Kia is 16 years old. She's part of that Kandui crew. For Kia, they drove from Padang in the Mentawais to Cruy, and then I'm pretty sure they drove from Cruy here, which is a couple of day drive. So it's pretty crazy, the amount of commitment they're having for these events so far. Kia got a 49th at Cruy.
Wow.
Yeah, but this is her best ever QS result. I think it's her first finals day in the QS, which is amazing. Amazing
results, and she's just showcasing her skills growing up in the Mentawais, and she's just used to this horror big wave condition, and she's showcasing all those skills throughout the competition.
Yeah, she's definitely been a standout in the tube for the women's for this whole event so far. I mean, she's currently 32nd on the Asia rankings, but she's definitely going to skyrocket up after this result with a semi-final finish in the 6,000. Wayana, you know, these are big events and big results in the line. What's your plan for the rest of the year? There's potentially a couple more QS 6,000s. So what's your plan? You gonna do them or go?
Train? I think I'll commit.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. You do one, I guess you do all. Yeah.
So plans to head over to Korea for the next QS 6,000?
Yeah, booked in.
Love it. Yeah, it's actually a super fun wave, the wave pool over there. There's plenty of opportunity, and you know, everyone will get their fair share of waves. This is Lucy right now, under second priority, and unfortunately coming unstuck on that first turn again for Lucy. She's got a pretty good lead right now with a 5, 6, 7, and a 4. Kia looking for that 717.
Right, I can tell Lucy really, you know, wants to get rid of the 4.0 to extending her lead. But now Kia has first priority, so she gets to choose next one. So hopefully there's gonna be a great set for her. Maybe, you know, if she can manage to find a barrel today.
Yeah, she managed to do that yesterday, just so easily. She was able to find those tubes when I was like, no, I don't know. And then she found 2, and I was like, wow, okay. And it was actually a really, really close heat between her and Ruby True. Ruby needed a 4.67 or something like that and got a good 2-turner, but was just not the score. And it was, you know, Kia was like, oh, wow, that was really lucky. But let's take a look at this wave here of Lucy. I think that's her first 5, 6, 7 die.
Love the first turn and love the second turn. Just 3 fins out, drifted, you know, controlled maneuver, and this is her second wave, 4.0. Nice first turn. Just everything is on point, and she stayed composed on every turn. So it's great surfing from Lucy.
Yeah, Wayana, you've been here in Nias for a while. I'm sure you've watched plenty of heats. What's been some takeaways, you know, for you in regards to competitive surfing? Have you learned from any lessons from that other competitors have made in their heats?
I guess just the way the judges score, like the difference between like some kids are getting like 7s for 1 turn, and some kids are doing 3 turns and getting a 4. I think the judges, they want you in the pocket. They want you, and if you're not there, they're not scoring you, or they want you on the sets. Like, I guess it's just kind of how it is everywhere, but they really go hard on you here.
Yeah, it's you know, being at that top QS level, you need to perform at your best dive. We've been talking about it all week, that quality over quantity kind of mentality, and I think you hit the nail on the head there, Wayana. You know, being on the sets, doing the best surfing, and being really tight in the pocket is like what is expected at this level.
Yeah, and that's what Lucy and Kia do. That's why they're in the semis, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Kia's been surfing so well. She's definitely been finding some good tubes. Lucy's been attacking the lip each time. Next heat is going to be a good one. Second semi-final. Ella McCaffrey and Charlie Haitley. Ella, last year's winner. But this is that last wave of Kia die.
The first nice opening car from Kia. But unfortunately, the wave just, you know, didn't have the opportunities for her to hit the critical section. But definitely a beautiful opening car from Kia. So it comes in 2.20. There's still, you know, 20 minutes in this heat. There's plenty of times. But Lucy has fast priority now. But looks like a few sets coming in to the lineup. and it'll be Lucy. Oh, open riding.
Lucy on her backhand, nice first turn. She scratched into that one. It was a late start. Driving through a second connection. She's hoping this one is going to stand up for her. Maybe she can get a little bit more vertical, but unfortunately it just fattens out a little bit. I think that's her dad out there as her caddy, and Rafa Castro is out there for Kia Hua. He's been the best caddy ever, she was saying yesterday for her, and we've seen the caddies out there this whole event. They've been making lots of noise, and we've seen people just committing to the caddy life. Wayana, have you I didn't, you got to come in here yesterday and have a heat with Di and Giada, but I didn't get the luxury of getting to speak to you after that. Tell me tell me about yourself. Where are you from? Who is Wayana?
So I'm from Byron. I grew up in Byron, still live there. I just finished high school last year, so I guess this is my first trip on my own. I guess just starting to do QSs now. This is my first full year, so giving it my best, and I'm not expecting too much from myself. I'm just trying to see how it goes, have a good time, and get better every year.
Yeah, that's part of the process. That first, I remember my first year in the QS, and it was definitely a nerve-wracking one. Lots of lessons, lots of mistakes, for sure. And right now, this is Kia. She's flying down the line, looking for something big. She needs a 717, another nice carve, but you can see maybe a bit of frustration there. She's hoping for a barrel, and that one just not cooperating.
Right, it was one of the bigger sets in this heat so far, but just like you said, probably she was looking for this barrel time. Unfortunately, couldn't find a right time, and come around the section, just maybe just fat out for her, and unfortunate really for her to not be able to get turns in.
Yeah, that was unlucky. She was flying down the line. Back to that though, Wayana, first year in the QS, it's always a fun one. We've actually, the events that we have this year are so fun. Of obviously Korea Nias, and then heading to Korea, and maybe a QS 6000 in Japan, Cloud9, and also Taiwan. But this is current heat leader.
Whoa.
Good first turn for Lucy. Driving through this second one, she's just in such good rhythm with the wave out there right now. I think that might better the 4.0.
Wow, definitely. I got a feeling that she's going to improve her situation. That first turn was solid in a critical section, and the second turn it was smooth, nice carb. So definitely it'll improve her situation. Probably get rid of the 4.0 that Lucy was looking for. Great surfing.
Yeah, attacking the lip. Really committing to those critical sections. She's so good at winding up on her backhand. It locks in at a 4.67 for Lucy. With 16 minutes to go, she's just edging a little bit further out in front of Kia each time. Kia's now chasing a 7.84. For me, if Kia finds one that barrels, I think she gets it straight away. Wayana, it's a hard wave to surf, but in a heat, especially when it's so perfect like this, it's hard to contain the emotions a little bit.
What do you mean by the emotions?
Whether it's excitement or nerves, whatever you're feeling, I find it hard, to go out there, especially in a heat and perform when it's so pumping and so much fun. And it seems like, when Kia is expecting it to barrel, she's gets a little bit frustrated when it's maybe not cooperating with her.
I mean, I think both of them are frustrated. Lucy, she'll get to the end of the wave and she's like, I wanted, I expected more from that wave. I think it's very different to, what they've been experiencing. And Kia as well, she's got probably a mindset of barrels, and now she's up against a fat wave, which is so different to what she's been surfing. So I think their emotions are probably they're probably struggling with it at the moment, unsure. I guess their whole heat plan's probably changed.
Yeah, every day we've woken up and it's been different conditions. Lucy capitalizing though on that last one, the 4.67, and Kia, she's just waiting out there with priority and hoping one comes that's just going to come through perfectly and I guess just tube over her. She's so good in the barrel. We've seen her all week, and I think, yeah, if she can find one, she'll do well.
Definitely. She's the most standout staff of female side, and definitely has a great technique in the tube riding.
Yeah, she's also not scared at all as well. I was talking with Jada, and she was saying that she is so fearless. You know, she goes out when 6 foot barreling, just waves of consequence, and she's just got the biggest smile on her face, and she's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. It's fun, you know. So there's no surprises that she's made it this far in the draw. She's taken out some big names as well. But this next heat is going to be pretty crazy. Ella McCaffrey and Charlie Haitley. I mean, Ella's the previous winner. Wayana, I'm excited to watch this next heat.
Yeah, she rips as well. She's had some great results in the QS. She's number 4 or 5 last year. And then Ella, yeah, she's great.
Yeah, getting the win out here last year. She's been dropping 9s and 8s all event die. She's just looking in form.
Definitely strong competitor in strong turns, and smart competitor as well. You know.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to watch the heat number 2. But on screen, Oceania was gonna go on this one, but probably it was a little bit too small.
Maybe some heat strategy, trying to get Kia to go.
Definitely potential, trying to sell her onto a smaller wave, but Kia's not budging. She's like, no, I know what wave I'm looking for. I'm going to wait for that one to come through. And with 12 and a half minutes to go, there's still plenty of time for Kia to wait for one of those bigger sets that hopefully rolls through. Let's take a look at the best wave of Kia from this heat so far. There actually might be a little line rolling through, so we'll just stick with the live action before we go to that. And Kia's holding first priority, and doesn't go that one. She says, no, it's not barreling.
Yeah, that was smart move from Kia.
Yeah, holding on to that priority, not making a committed paddle to that wave. So just under 12 minutes to go. And who are you traveling here with, Wayana? Who's the support crew?
So because this is my first year, I technically came by myself. I stayed with some friends for a little bit in Cruy, but they didn't come to Nias. So yeah, but I met Lucy at Cruy. We were staying at the same place, so I've kind of just been hanging out with her a lot, and cheering her on. I've gotten to know Kia as well. They're both really, really sweet girls. Both love surfing so much, and so kind of just getting to know everyone, I guess. And yeah, it's been really nice.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how many friends you make. That was that last wave of Kia's a 2.2. Looks like she's up and into this one as well.
Well, so we're not too sure what she's done at the back. I'd love to watch the replay of Kia's last wave. You know, Kia's not finding tubes, but she's been doing great with the first turns. But she just couldn't find a wave that offers her the second turn in yet. So definitely the wave selection is going to be the key point for Kia. If she can manage to put 2 turns in, and probably she'll be back in the game.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Di. I think finding those 2 turners, it seems at the moment like it's that first turn is the most critical part of the wave, and then it kind of goes a little bit fat. So let's take a look at this last wave of Kia's. First look at it, Wayana. Whoa.
Oh.
That was a pretty sick first turn. Yeah. Yeah, it's always just, it must be the tide, and I guess along with the small swell, but it's just they look like they're struggling to find something that holds up long enough for a second turn.
Yeah, that last of Kia, 3.53, so it's her best wave of the heat so far.
Wow, pretty much all the points come from the first turn, right?
Yeah.
3.53. So if she gets the second turn, and it can be mid-5 and mid-4. So Kia is in second, but definitely she needs to get on the right wave to go to get decent score at the moment.
Yeah, she does for sure. And just finding those set waves, maybe something that's coming through a little bit bigger. We have obviously seen a drop in the swell, so expectation, maybe heat plans need to change a little bit for finals day. These the men's finals coming up are going to be super stacked as well. It's going to be Elliot Ryder-Reed taking on Dylan Wilcoxon, and then we'll see Teddy Billy and Lennox Smith in that second semi-final. That's going to be crazy. I mean,
wow, yeah.
I know Lennox, I'm pretty sure he's unfortunately injured his meniscus again. So he's surfing with a knee brace at the moment. I think yesterday he was in a little bit of pain in his quarterfinal. But, still progressing through that quarter against Ben Lorenzen. And I know Ben was really stoked with his result. I was talking to him earlier this morning. And for Lennox right now, it's just all about pushing the pain aside and giving it 100% in those 35 minutes, because these are huge results.
Definitely, this is semi-finals, men's QS 6000 high-rated QS on the tour. So definitely, everyone wants to possibly win to gain big points. But sometimes, pains go away when you're so psyched.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, you don't feel anything. No. And you don't feel the cold. Oh, well, I feel like you get way too hot out there right now. But I like competing in the cold. You don't feel it for the 25, 30 minutes that you're out there. You're like, nah, the cold doesn't even matter. All that matters is just catching some good waves, doing the best surfing. And hopefully for Lennox, his knee isn't giving him too much of an issue in this semi-final, because this could be a huge result for him.
Right, definitely. So on screen we have Charlie Hackley in blue.
I think that's Ruby True as her board caddy.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's Ruby.
Yeah, she's been using Charlie Hurst as her board caddy the last couple of heats, but Charlie's making her way back to Oz today. So Ruby getting knocked out in the quarterfinals yesterday. Kia actually taking her out. So she's opting for the professional board caddy for today.
We don't have many competition that allow us to have caddy in a QS tour, so it's a great opportunity to have one, and definitely there's a extra power with the caddy if you have one.
For sure. It's so like, Wayana, you'd be able to talk us through this one. Having a caddy out there is so great, because you can kind of feed off their good energy, right?
Yeah, they kind of, I like to have someone shout at me and give me some keep going, that was a good wave, or, get back up, you can do this heaps of time. It's actually really nice. Or Lucy's dad can, give her a little side hustle, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. I mean, it's up to the surfer, but
yes. Yeah.
Sometimes it's good.
What do you, as some, a competitor, what are you expecting from your caddy, or what are you asking for them before you get out there? Are you like, hey, I need you to yell and scream at me, or just be silent?
Nah, I like noise.
Yeah.
Noise is good. Yeah.
Definitely.
What about you, Di?
Oh, I love noise, but as a surfer, we don't really get to hear the noise from the beach because they're so far away. But hearing the noise just hypes you up. So definitely, I love noise.
Yeah.
I think all the caddies, everyone's kind of cheering everyone, not even just their surfer.
Yeah. Especially in that big day 4 when there was so many tubes going down. I feel like everyone was just getting so psyched.
I love to be a caddy on the day 4.
It's so fun. Yeah. So fun. I remember when my sister was caddying for me out here in one of my heats a couple of years ago, and I was like, she just knew exactly what I needed at every point. I like to have information. I'm like, tell me my scores. Tell me what I need, or where I'm sitting and how much time, and then you can yell and scream. It's like, give me the information first, and then you can hype me up. And she just nailed it every time. I think Nathan Hedge was the same. I told him before I went out one of my heats, he was caddying, and I was like, Hog, just tell me my scores first. And he's like, yeah, Truzy, I got it. Don't worry. I was like, great, thanks. And it's just so awesome to have that communication, that kind of energy with your caddies out there. As you said, Di, you don't get it anywhere else in this QS region.
Definitely. maybe if you're on a CT tour, then you can have caddy out there and there's a situation, or maybe CS, but not on the QS tour. It only Australian and Asian tour
Yeah.
that allow us to have a caddy in a perfect condition. So,
Yeah, it's we're so lucky to have
wow,
be able
definitely.
to surf these
Yeah.
incredible waves and have those little 1%ers that make such a big difference. And talk me through your junior career, Waiano. Did you compete much as at any of the pro juniors, or any of the? I know that the Oki Grom comp and the Skull Can are coming up. We'll get back to that though. This is live action. Lucy in and out.
Oh.
Doesn't like the look of that wave. But yeah, what's your competitive career? Has it just started, or has it been going on for a while?
So I did do a few pro juniors when I was younger, and I have, I guess, done a few Grom comps, but nothing super major. I just did a couple every now and then. I kind of focused on running most of my junior career, and I guess
I'm like distance running, or we'll come back. Sorry.
no,
This
yeah, let's watch Kia.
Yeah. She just floats that first section. She needs to go big here.
Whoa.
Good carve, grabs a rail, unfortunately, and comes unstuck for Kia. It's not going to be the 681 she's hoping for, and we've got 3 minutes to go in this heat. Lucy will go back and regain that priority. But yeah, talk me through what running is in, like distance running. Talk me through that? That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's very different. I was talking it to Giada a little bit about in the other heat. So like, do you know steeplechase? It's like it's 3 kilometers, and it's like you jump over hurdles, like horses jump over like barriers.
Yeah.
Oh, here goes Lucy again.
Yeah, good first turn for Lucy. Needs to find a second connection. She gets up there once again, and just in and out. She's maybe hoping for a little bit more from herself, but she's been doing just exactly what she needs to do in this semi-final right now. And yeah, from running to surfing, that's a big difference.
Well, I was always doing both, but it was a lot, like just trying to really, I guess, push both of them. And I guess I kind of went through phases. I'd like really focus on this, and then I'd really focus on that, but it just never really, it was tricky. So I guess now I'm fully focused on surfing, and I just run for fun or fitness. I did bring my running shoes. I have gone on a few runs here.
That's pretty committed.
Well, here is Kia. Important waves. Needs 681. It was a huge first and committed turn, but unfortunately it comes unstuck. But definitely it was one of the huge turn from a Kia.
It's the right approach to be getting that 681. She
Definitely
needs to do those big turns. She's got just over a minute to go. Lucy, she's paddling out, maybe trying to get in position for this one. Looks like she is, Di.
Oh, Lucy is up and riding. This is a good looking wave. Nice first time, but decided to kick out to probably regain the first priority over Kia. So smart surfing, smart decision from Lucy. Just under 50 seconds to go.
Wow. So it's Lucy Dara out in front. She's got that 5.67 and a 4.67. She's currently at this point on her way to the finals. Unless Kia can get that 6.81 that she's been looking for. She's got a 3.53 and a 2.5. It's been incredible to watch Kia absolutely charge this whole event. And with 30 seconds to go, Lucy is going to have a look at this one. Keep Kia off it. She needs to better a 4.67 on this wave. Nice first turn. Gets up and into that second connection there for Lucy. Her attack approach has been what has been, her go-to throughout this whole event. And with 5 seconds to go, looks like we have our first finalist locked in for the women's. It's Lucy Dara moving on through to the women's 2025 Nias Pro final. Unfortunately, we'll say goodbye to Kia Hua, but what an incredible performance, Di. She's been surfing so well this whole event.
I really, love to watch her surfing again in a bigger condition. She's been on fire, but congratulations to Lucy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining in. for the first heat of the morning, Wayana. It was, an exciting one, some good surfing. So hopefully we'll have you back in the booth. But we are going to head to a break because semi-final number 2 is going to be massive. It's Ella McCaffrey taking on Charlie Haitley. Don't go anywhere.
Cow! Oh, mate. I just went for a drive. Surf is cooking, bruh! Wind's gone offies, swell's starting to pulse. You all fueled up? It's you and me, man. We're going to get cone today. Yeah, let's go, brother.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Nias Pro QS 6000. Right now in the water is the semifinals heat 2. We have in the red Ella McCaffrey, last year's winner, and in the blue Charlie Haitley. I'm Jana Ligati, and I want to welcome into the booth Mark Clift and Jazz Studer.
Hi, how's it going?
Good morning, team. Here we are, finals day, and our second semi-final is already underway. Here is the defending champ, everybody. Ella, I think by memory, had a 9 and a 7 yesterday in her quarterfinal to get to this point. Watching her go through her warm-up routine this morning, she knows how to deal with finals day. Let's put it that way, as the defending champ, and went in with a whole lot of momentum from yesterday. So, Jazz Studer in here. Jazz, you know Ella pretty well. What do you reckon? You reckon she's nervous, or you reckon she's got this totally together?
I'd say she's feeling really confident. Before her heats, she's super locked in. She's super focused. All eyes on the water. She doesn't have any distractions. So, yeah. I'm saying she's feeling confident, and I'll be stoked if she makes this heat.
I'm sure you will. You've been doing some caddy duties with her, yeah?
Yeah, I caddied for her first heat, and Charlie's up and riding here. Belts that first section, sticks it, kind of gets caught around, but hits the eject there.
All right. So, G, how's your morning been going? Our finals day, it's taken us a long time to get to this point, but you ready?
I am so ready for finals day. I'm really excited to watch the finals, and I was just having a coffee with some other athletes, and they're all excited too. Everyone's going to be down here taking a look. I mean, besides this wave, actually, Nias, there's not much else to do. So it's an exciting morning for everyone. We're going to have our finalists for the 2025 Nias Pro. And all right, so you spent some time with Ella, and she came back just for this event, and she wants to win, of course. So what's her routine been like here?
Well, we kind of just been hanging out, She'll wake up, she'll have an early surf, do some stretching, a workout, and if she's off for the day, we'll kind of just spend the day hanging out, sometimes caddying together, and yeah, it's been super fun hanging out with her. I only get to see her maybe once or twice a year, and it's usually at this event.
All right, let's have a little look at these replays. It wasn't ideal for Charlie, but she's been a ripper. She's been a big inclusion into this event this year, and she's really been powering her way through the draw. I see similarities with the way you surf, Jazz, in your Charlie. Strong backhand surfing, so I'm sure you watch her. Do you watch her and go, I think I sort of do bits of that, or I want to do it better, or I want to do it as exactly like she is? Do you take little bits out of other high-profile surfers?
Yeah. Charlie's been ripping this whole event, and we've actually been hanging out a lot. I usually try to do the same bottom turn as her. And when I got a barrel in my heat the other day, she was just like, oh, can you teach me? It was really funny.
So she wants tips off you, and you want tips off her. Nice. All right, it's what makes surfing so cool. So our numbers are coming through a 4.33 for Ella's first effort. So the judges leaving plenty of room in the scale there. And Charlie's belt,
5.83.
5.83. Wow, for the one belt for Charlie. So the judges are really loving the quality over quantity. All right, Jazz, have a look at our backdrop here. These drone footage images are just so good. Look at that. Welcome to Saraki Beach, everybody. So how good of a learning curve is it when you're sitting in the channel, you're caddying, you're looking out there, watching Ella go through what she does best, and with a rash vest on? It must be pretty inspiring.
Yeah, it is. I caddied for her first heat, and she was absolutely ripping, just like on this first one. She has such an amazing forehand hook. And yeah, she's such a powerhouse.
So this is what a 4.33 looks like on finals day, everybody. So we have a little look at it again. No real steep bits on that wave. There was lots of surfing done. In contrast, Charlie had one big blast and a big steep section, so the judges went righto. Finals day to win this thing. We want to see people, take risks on good sections, so a 5.83. And you've still got the Pro Juniors to look forward to. That starts tomorrow.
Yeah, the forecast is looking a little small tomorrow, so I'll probably have to bring out my groveler. But overall, I'm excited to get back in the Rashi.
Unreal. Your groveler, that was the one you rode yesterday afternoon, was it? Is that?
No,
you got something.
It's been stashed away. Yeah, I haven't ridden it this whole trip, but I'll be happy to get back on it. It works like magic.
Boom. Speaking
Wow.
of magic, Charlie just doing what she does so good. Bang. Just crunching big sections. She's really, I said it earlier, she's powered her way into these semi-finals with just heavy hits. The wave really suits her. When she gets those two big blasts going, the judges are really loving what she's bringing because it's ticking so many parts of the criteria. What do you like most about it, Jazz?
Yeah, she as well is such a powerhouse. Her backhand is just on lock. It's super dialed in. Yeah, it's really amazing watching her surfing.
All right. Well, I'm glad you've decided to come in here and call this heat with us because you've got shades of Charlie Haitley and you're really good friends with Ella. So it's the perfect heat for you, really, isn't it?
It is. I've gotten to know Charlie really well on this trip. We've been talking along the free surfs. I'll usually come up to her. I'll be like, "You had your wave yet?" She goes, "No." I'll say, "Me too."
All right.
I mean, you're coming off an injury as well, right?
Yeah, I am. So I tore my meniscus about 4 months back now, and I did a month and a half of rehab. And after rehab, I was, still training, still going to the gym a lot. I was going to the gym more than I was going to the beach. It was an interesting moment for me, but yeah, I'm really happy to be back in the water. It feels so nice.
We'll get back to that as there's a break in the action. We're going to head over to a quick interview with the first finalist of the event.
Lucy, first ever QS final. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, True. I'm so stoked. The waves are so fun today.
It was a little bit of a slower heat between you and Kia, but you guys had some great battles. What was your approach in that heat?
Yeah, Kay is such a good surfer. Like she's been a standout this whole event. She's one of my good friends, and yeah, I was just trying to approach it, as confident as I can, and try to get on the best waves. Just because Kay is so strong in the water, but yeah, I'm stoked.
Your backhand attack has been looking really solid. Yeah, I just have no words for you. First ever QS final is absolutely incredible. Are you just going to leave everything out in the water in this next heat?
Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. It's a final. I'm QS 6000. I'm just going to go for it, leave everything out in the water.
You have your dad here, but I know you've probably got some family and friends at home watching and supporting you. Is there anything you'd like to say?
I just want to say thanks to my mum and my little brothers for watching me, my uncle and my cousins, and Poppy O'Reilly and Layla Fraser.
Well, another bang bang for you, Lucy. 2 more waves, and you could just be a champion here at the Nias Pro. I mean, congratulations. We'll send it back to you guys in the booth.
Unreal. Thanks, True. Geez, look at this second number that's dialed up for Charlie Haitley. So she's off to a ripping start, right, with a 6.33 and a 5.83. Really strong statement there. So Ella, she'll know what to do from here. It was Charlie that beat her a couple of days ago before the quarterfinals. So I'm sure Ella will be wanting to get one back. She's got the eye of the tiger when it comes to competition and having a lot of pride in her competition act. So she'll be sensing a serious threat from Charlie, but she definitely wants to get the ledger squared up here, I reckon.
Yeah, so back to what we were talking about before, because Charlie is actually recovering from an injury, and she's looking great right now. You know, semifinal is 6,000. How do you think you come back stronger mentally from these injuries? How did you come back? Because you had a great run in the Cruy Pro Junior. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard at first because my physio said, okay, you're not allowed to do turns yet. And it was probably 3 weeks of just riding along the waves. And I was actually talking to my dad about it. I was just like, you know what? I feel like I've gotten better after this injury. I feel like my surfing's been more powerful and I've been on rail a lot more because, yeah, I wasn't doing turns for 3 weeks and I was kind of just focusing on doing roundhouse cutbacks, and that helped me engage my rail. And, you know, I'm doing way better bottom turns now. Doing huge cards, which I could never really do before. I would try to do them in fall, but now I'm making a lot of them and I'm really happy.
Did you ever talk to maybe any like sports psychologists to come back stronger, or were you just like working on yourself?
Not really. It was just a lot of downtime, and I had my physio, Elko, back in Bali, and he helped me a lot through it. But yeah, we were training every week, and I was going to the gym every day, and it was super fun.
Charlie is also coming. Well, she had that injury earlier on, and have you guys been talking about it, or how does it go? How's the conversation between you two girls?
Yeah, so she tore her meniscus as well, so same injury as me. Hers was a little worse though, so she got the surgery. While mine isn't as bad, so I'll just be having to wear a brace for a bit. But yeah, she's come back really strong, and I'm so stoked for her. Semifinals at a QS 6,000 after, you know, an injury. That's amazing.
Potentially a final as well.
Yeah.
It's not over yet. Okay, so 22 minutes to go. She's got a substantial lead. The defending champ's going to have to dig pretty deep here. A 7.83 is the requirement. We can all see that. We're down to 22 minutes. It's been kind of a long week on the point here. Jazz Judah, we're at day 6. What have been some of the highlight moments for you?
Probably yesterday, you know. Yesterday, there were so many good scores. You know, I think Ben Lorenzen, he got like a 9.
Yeah, that was the day before, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
Yeah,
my
that
bad.
was all right. That's all right. It was 2 days ago. But that day was so sick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We're actually going to have Ben in here next for everyone online. He's decided to come in and help call the men's first semi-final. But
Oh, yeah, sick.
that was a big day. That was such a good day. Did you do any caddying that day? Did you get in the lineup or?
No, because I was surfing heats, but yeah, I saw Ben on his barrel, and I was just like, okay, I want to do that too.
And you did?
And I did.
Woohoo! Must have felt good.
It was the first time I came out of a backhand barrel, so I was super
I'll
stoked.
shake your hand. That's a big day. Something you'll never forget. Doing it in
Yeah.
a contest at this sort of a wave.
Yeah, I've been coming to Nias for the last 4 years now, and that was the first time I actually got barreled.
That's okay. That's no disgrace. That's it takes a little while. It's one of the harder things to do in surfing. Develop a good backhand tube riding style, and when you see someone like Ben Lorenzen, who we're having a chat with next, it's like, wow, it looks so good when the crew get it right. So well done you. Anyway, you might want to call this wave for us because this is your friend. It's looking like Ella wants it.
Yeah, this is looking like a pretty good set. Trying to get around that first section, coming off the top, and kind of gets stuck there, but loads up for a second one. Ooh, kind of hits it late there, but yeah.
Well, that's not very Ella-like.
No.
Usually she's very fast for the top turn and the first one as well, and she's very powerful. She's the type of surfer that under pressure, she actually tends to improve on her surfing. So hopefully with still 20 minutes, that's plenty of time for her to get back out there and catch a couple sets. But yeah, it's
It's unusual.
Yeah, very unusual.
It was a good wave. She waited a fair time for
Yeah.
it as well. So probably just taking so long to get to that first scoring opportunity might have just maybe rushed it a little bit and didn't get that first hit right. So she tried something even bigger on a second hit and just another little error on that wave and down she went. So she'll have to just brush that aside now. I'm sure she's good enough to put, negative thoughts behind you and just realise there's 19 and a half minutes still remaining. A 7.83 by her standards. She was dropping them. She's been dropping them all event. So you've just got to regroup and put those disappointments away and just focus on what you can do next and how you're going to get it better.
Yeah, I mean, Ella has been competing for a long time now, and she's such a strong competitor, really strong mentally as well. So she's definitely going to come back stronger. I know that Ella loves this place so much, and she has such a strong connection to Nias. So the wave just, she was a little late to it, but I'm sure she's going to learn, and she adapts really quickly the same way today. The conditions have changed so much since the past few days of competition. So it's all about adapting and being able to bring out the best, even when it's been different.
And look, it's the same for everyone when you look at the waves that are out there. So you've just got to get your head around it. You've got to get down and do it. Lucy did in her last heat. Do you like watching Lucy surf, Jazz?
Yeah, I've been watching her since Cruy, and she's got such an amazing forehand and backhand. I've seen like the highlight reels of her, and it's so sick watching her surf.
All right, good stuff. Here we go now, another decision time. So why don't you talk us through this one? This is Charlie.
Okay, Charlie going off the bottom turn, carves that top turn. Yeah, the wave's kind of fattening out here, but she wraps it back around into the power source. Might load up again here. Usually sometimes does that, but yeah. Overall, pretty good wave for Charlie.
Do you think potentially upgrade to 5.83 or not?
Comparing that to her 5.83 was very different, of course. It was a one bell off the top. But yeah, I don't think it's going to improve.
No, I reckon good call. You spoke this, you pushed that out there really well, and I agree because here it is again. So just a flatter wave, G. What do you reckon?
I think probably most of the points come from that first turn, but yeah, it's just a bit of a flat wave. Nothing to do with her surfing this wave, just not giving her the opportunity really to just go critical or more vertical. But she's just trying to keep busy and make sure she doesn't just sit there for so long. I think it was maybe smart as well to take it off Ella, make sure Ella doesn't, really get another good score so early on in this heat. So I think it was smart from Charlie to go for it and stay busy, make sure she doesn't get into her own head. But yeah, so still plenty of time, and Ella now with priorities probably gonna have a good shot in the next set.
That was a great call, G, because I reckon she had to do that as well, because if you give Ella an even break, someone like her, a defending champ, if she betters her 4.33, the requirement drops. She could just surf away into rhythm. So I reckon Charlie probably just identified that as a stop Ella moment. Here we go. So here's Ella now. Go for it, Jazz.
Ella hits that first section, loads up for a second one, absolutely lays into it, but unfortunately digs her rail.
All right, so pressure sort of mounting a little bit here, uncharacteristically. A bunch of errors starting to come out of the defending champ. Charlie Haitley beat her to get into the quarterfinals the other day. She's the only surfer in the draw this year to beat Ella McCaffrey. So Ella's kind of got a nemesis in the lineup, and she's going to have to regroup here. A couple of untimely errors, down to 16 minutes, so just under the halfway mark of our second semi-final for the women's. Meanwhile, Lucy Dara waiting in the ladies' grand final. Up next, a big matchup. I think it's Elliot Parada-Reed and Teddy Billy. Is that right?
Dylan Wilcoxon.
Dylan Wilcoxon. All right, so Dylan and Elliot. Go for it.
Oh, great matchup there, Elliot and Dylan. I think it's like pretty much the polar opposites of this event. Elliot, a bit older, has had the experience and has been around the QS run for a really long time, whereas Dylan is just turned 16 and kind of up and coming and not too much experience in these big QSs. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup and different approaches, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about those two when we get to their matchup with 15 on the clock Charlie gets back out there and regains priority, so she's in good position now. She's just trying to get rid of that 5.83. Her last score didn't go there, so it was still just a nice set play to take this wave off Ella. So we're watching replays again. This looks like a first one. All right, got a really strong lip to crack. She did it. This is the 5.83. And then found a better wave to hit it a couple of times. What did you like best about this one, Jazz?
Yeah, she really cranks it off the top. I mean, that's just beautiful surfing right there. And then the foam climb just to try to get around the section. But yeah, beautiful surfing.
Yeah, it is. And, and welcome in, and thanks for coming and helping us out in here. But it's cool to watch heats roll out like this, and you watch it scores. I really reckon it's a good kind of training tool as well, to sit in here, because we watch so many heats, Adriana, and you see so many ways people can win. You see even more ways people lose. So to sit here and just really study heats and watch these numbers drop, it's I think for someone like you who's got a future as a competitive surfer, both you ladies, it really just highlights the importance of making right decisions, good decisions in a heat, because the time goes pretty quick.
Yeah, so what are your plans for the rest of the year, Jazz? What are you gonna be doing? What are you going, like, in what contests are you be competing, and where are you gonna be training?
So after this, I have a Fulu, which I went last year and got second. It's such an amazing wave, beautiful venue. I mean, despite having the reef right there in your face when you take off on a wave, it's so nice there. And then after, I'll be home for a week and then off to Korea for the QS 6000. I'm not so sure after that, but I have the Prang Cup next August, and I'm so excited for that. I came away with second last year to Moana Jones Wong, and to take the win this year.
Do you think Afulu has similarities to Bingin?
I do. It's a lot sketchier in Afulu, but it's such an amazing wave.
It's a really fun wave, right? And the place is sick. Have you had the roti bakar there?
No, I haven't, but everyone's talked it up this trip. I might have to try it.
It's so good. I went there the first year, and the roti bakar there is some of the best I've ever. I think that was all I ate for like 3 days. So if you get around there, you have to try it. And I'm hoping you guys get some swell, because it's a really fun wave. And about the Padang Cup, so have you been surfing there quite a bit?
I have not. I haven't surfed there all year, and I hope there's a really good swell for the cup.
It's been a bit of a strange season, right?
Yeah. There was one swell last March that it broke. I was at halfway training, so I couldn't make it. But I'll be really stoked if there's a good swell in August.
I'm sure you'll get some great swells for the Pan Cup. While there's a little bit of a break in the action, we'll go over to a quick bonsai break.
That's a weird looking smoothie, Vorno.
Tell him, son, this ain't no smoothie. This is a smooth as broth base for our bonsai ramen.
How long should we wait, Master Ramen?
Patience, young noodle. Wait, and top secret, I need a corn. Behold, bonsai ramen.
Moon-san, this is
Absolutely cooking.
All right, we're back. No waves written just yet, but this is the semifinal heat 2 of the Nias Pro QS 6000 right now in the water. Charlie Hatley versus Ella McCaffrey. Ella McCaffrey, past winner here. So it's looking like Charlie for now with a bit of a foot in the final for now, 6.33 and a 5.83. Ella McCaffrey, unfortunately, hasn't really strung this heat together just yet. 4.33 to 2.17. But with just under 10 minutes on the clock, still plenty of time for Ella to get back and have a bit of an exchange. But Jazz, the Padang Cup is such a prestigious event here in Indonesia, and it's one of the ones that everyone wants to join and kind of have a part in. So tell us how you're approaching that contest differently to this one.
Oh, well, Padang, it's like a second home for me, I try my best to dominate the lineup out of everyone, but yeah, it's such an amazing wave, and I've been in love with it since I was 12, 13. I've been surfing there for so long, and I love it so much. But doing the Padang Cup for me is, I have a way more mellow approach because I know the wave so well, and I know where the lineup is, and it's a lot easier for me to navigate how to get through heats there. Whereas here, I'm on my backhand, and despite it being such a good wave, it has its flaws.
And someone else who is in the Padang Cup and could potentially do incredible is Dylan, who we're going to be seeing in the next heat against Elliot Parada-Reed. So what are you expecting for Dylan in this heat?
Yeah, the waves are looking pretty fun for Dylan. I'd say he's gonna do some airs. He got
100%.
a
He's
9
gonna.
and an 8. Yeah, he was throwing away 8s yesterday, which was amazing. Here we go, Charlie Haley, off the top, drives into the second bottom turn, but
Yep.
there's not a section there. It went really flat, but
Here goes Ella now. She's on wave number 4, so it's time for Ella to get a groove on here, but she just goes over the handlebars again. Just things not really panning out ideally here for Ella. A bunch of fall-offs back to back, so I imagine it might be starting to mess a little bit with the between the ears. Charlie's done a great job to put those early runs on the board. Her first 2 waves got her the 12-16 2-wave total. And I think the defending champ is just feeling the nerves a little bit here, folks. 7:40 to see who is going to join Lucy Dara in the women's final of our first ever 6,000 here at Saraki Beach in Lagundri Bay. So there's a lot on the line here today. There's a lot of cash to splash around as well. The prestige, the points that go with it. You can't buy points, so everybody wants the big points. And back to Ella, back to Jasmine here. So Jazz, tell us a little bit about yourself for the people online that mightn't know a lot about Jazz Studer. How old are you? Where do you live? Some things like that.
well, I'm 16 years old, and I live in Bali, Indonesia. I have been surfing Padma for all my life, and that's kind of where my home break is. Every month or so, I'll go up to the bucket and surf ulus and that, but I'm not the biggest fan of it, especially of the crowds. Yeah, there's usually 100 people out with me. So.
And have you always lived in Bali?
Yeah, I've always lived in Bali, born and raised. I love living there. It's so beautiful, and yeah.
All right. And your dad makes your boards?
My dad makes my boards.
It must be so cool having that special relationship, and he sees your surfing. He knows it really well, so he can suggest times when you might need to, let's step this up, let's change this, let's ride a different tail or a different model. Does that happen a lot?
It does. He'll kind of find out what I really like and what looks best on me, and then kind of tweak it from there. And then if I get better with that board, or I'm not liking a board, he makes a quick mental note, okay, I can do this, I can do that. But what he really likes to do is experiment on me. He will love to experiment on my boards. He's put ping pong balls in my board once.
All right, just to lighten them up a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was weird. And it was made for doing airs, which worked really well.
Okay. So speaking about those things, do you have a special Padang board?
I do.
What's the difference?
Well, my Padang boards are a little thicker, and they're a lot heavier than my short boards. They'll range from about 5'6" to 5'9", and I've had a few really good ones that just,
Take us through Ella's wave here.
Okay, so Ella driving off the top, comes down for a foam climb, kind of misses the section a bit, but loads up for the second one. Ooh, another foam climb. And the section kind of goes fat here. It doesn't look like it's going to load up again.
All right, so that was McCaffrey's 5th wave. effectively needs to be better than a 4.33 to bring that 7.83 number down. We're at 5 minutes. Charlie's played this really well. She's built the pressure early. She's got priority at the right times, like right now. And when the better waves have come through, she was the one that found herself on them. And just kind of worried Ella into a few errors, I reckon. Here goes our next matchup. That's Dylan there in the blue. Elliot right behind him, just jumping off the world-famous keyhole here, everybody. It's some pretty cool drone footage. Obviously, they both got a caddy. So I know you were caddying for Ella in her heats. Was she caddying for you, or did you use anybody else?
No, I have Kevin here caddying for me in all my heats.
All right.
He was caddying me in crew, and now he's caddying me here.
All right. And he's going to do it again in the juniors for you?
Of course.
All right, so there's our next heat. That's going to start in about 4 minutes, everybody. So men's semi-finals are booked in next. I'm going to bring Ben Lorenzen in a little bit later on. He's going to help me with that semi-final. We're going to have another look at his 993. Once he sits down, that'll be a special treat. So for the crew online, you can see our next matchup. And beyond that, really looking forward to it. There's only 6 heats to finish here today. So we've got under no time pressure, hence these are 35s. I imagine the finals are probably going to be 40 or thereabouts. But right now, the immediate question is, Ella, she's just put a 4.83 on the clock. The number comes down to a 7.33. Here she goes on the inside. Let's see if we can stick to the live action. Ella is on wave number 6 as we speak. Not sure what she got done early, but just starting to bury some rail, tidy her surfing up a little bit. She's still in with the sniff here, 3 minutes.
All right, so 7.33 is Ella's requirement. And I think one of the most dangerous things about Ella in a heat is that even though the wave isn't of the best quality or a set wave, she has the quality of surfing that can get that score anyway. So Charlie, nerves of steel letting that one go, but we'll see what she did earlier. So the last of Ella, 3.77, doesn't go into her top 2. She's still looking for a big score. 2.5 left on the clock. This is a pretty vital moment for Charlie Halley right now.
Yep, so in her mind, she probably will realise she doesn't really need to ride another wave here. She's just got to be a little bit clever and just hold because, you know, there's swell lines. And like you said, G, Ella has the potential to surf waves up. She's that deadly, and the judges, you know, obviously have loved her act over the last 2 years because she's won. She's into a big semi-final with just typical Ella surfing, but it hasn't been a typical Ella heat, this one.
No, she's fumbled a few times. Unfortunately, she's fell in moments where she should have really ridden out of waves. But a semi-final finish, like, I don't want to speak too soon, but that's incredible again, you know, coming third and last year first. Like, it just shows that how much she really thrives here.
So Jasmine Studer, some good times. If it is Charlie up against Lucy Dara, if that happens in the next 90 seconds, who do you reckon?
Oh, I can't make that call. I don't think. They're both such amazing surfers. Both have the most incredible backhand I've seen out here. Yeah, they really go ham on it.
And for someone like you, you know, this is more sort of surf school lessons for you as well. Just watching this next final, because it's also about how they compete as well as what they do. It's the decisions they make between their rides to become a good competitor. So there's still a lot to learn here. Even when you're not surfing heats or got the rashy on yourself, there's always a lot to learn. So soak it up. Here we go. So maybe Charlie has to take this wave. Is she in the pole spot? She's too late. They both are, so that works again in Charlie's favour. Does she pick up this thing with 30 seconds to go? Once again, they're out of position.
Oh, looking like that wave, I think, took Ella out. It tracked her a little more down to the inside, but last set coming through. Charlie with priority out the back. 20 seconds left, so she's deciding to go on this one. She wants to improve a 5.83. This is a good-looking wave. A bit of whitewash on the face, but she can manage nicely. Big first opening turn. Rounds it again. She decides that that's not going to improve too much on her scoreline. Ella McCaffrey out the back. 7.33 is her requirement. I don't know. Her body language isn't too convincing. And I think it's safe to say that Charlie Hatley will be joining Lucy Dara in the grand final here in the Nias Pro QS 6000.
Jazz, that was good fun. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to shake your hand and say you spoke really well. Thanks for being part of the team for that women's semi-final. We are going to bring in Ben Lorenzen next for the first men's semi-final and True Starling. So we'll just go to a short break and we'll be back with those men's semis.
This is the smoothie I've been waiting all day for. I'm going to start with a couple bananas and then mixed berry frozen blend, my favourite. Bonsai almond milk and heaps of peanut butter. Nice little bit of coconut to finish off. Get that in ya.
I know. Yeah. Thanks, Heath. All right. So this is our first men's semi-final. We just saw Charlie Hatley book herself a spot in the grand final with Lucy Dara. This is our first men's semi-final. I'm going to welcome back True Starling into the house. True?
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm excited to be in for this heat with Elliot and Dylan. They've both been on fire throughout the whole event.
And we've got a special guest. Would you like to tell us who it is? Because this is so cool. I'm glad you're here because Elliot's out there and there's a connection. True.
Yeah, we're going to welcome into the booth Sappy Betty and Sappy. I'm really excited to have you in the booth. I feel like it'll be nice to have a chat. You obviously have been in the event. You were over in Cruy as well. You've been around a lot of the competitors, so I'm sure you're feeling all their vibes.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. Super excited for this heat as well, and lucky enough to be alongside you two. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really fun heat to watch and commentate. So yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Well, being a Kiwi, a New Zealand surfer as well, and Elliot's out there flying the flag. Here he goes. Would you like to call his first wave? Go for it.
Sure. So Elliot just looking for that critical section and hits it just there, and nice big carve. He's got a lot of power to throw and give, so going for the spin there, but doesn't quite complete. That last section is quite hard to kind of read and hit because it goes quite fat. But yeah, no, good start. Good to get on the board with that one. And yeah, he's got so much power to give. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, Elliot give it heaps.
So where did Elliot learn all his tricks of the trade? Where's he from? Which part's he from?
He's from Piha, so west coast to the top of the North Island. Yeah, he grew up there with his dad, Jammer, and his mum, Mal. So shout out to Uncle Jammer and Auntie Mal. I'm sure they're watching, and proud of their boy for making it so far in this event. It's really cool to see.
Did you like best about this one, True?
Yeah, that was a really strong carve, that second turn. As Safi mentioned, he's got so much power, and I've been loving seeing him just adapt to the conditions each day. We saw him get that 9.67 in his round of 16, was just absolutely insane. And yesterday dropping sevens for some pretty incredible turns too. So he's definitely one to watch in this semi-final. Dylan yesterday though was looking pretty switched on also.
Oh man, Dylan yesterday a 9 and 8.5, throwing away an 8. All right, to book himself a spot in this semi-final. His true riding has been on display all week, and that's undeniably good. And we've all just seen a different side, but just as good a side to his surfing is his air game. Yesterday, throwing down a massive alley-oop and then a big straight air at the end to get the, just keep upgrading his scores as he went. So, Elliot, I think he feels a real threat, so he's decided to spin the wheels, and I imagine it's not a typical routine for Elliot to try airs. Would that be right?
I think he's definitely got a huge repertoire. He's been throwing some huge airs over the last few years for sure. He's kind of got every trick up his sleeve, I feel like, and growing up, watching him and like being a grommet, seeing him around the contest and stuff, I think he actually is surprising a lot of people with how good he actually surfs, and I think he's come to this event and just showing up and blowing up. So he has lots of tricks up his sleeve. But yeah, like you said, Dylan, I've been watching him for a while now via Instagram, and he's such an incredible talent and coming up, and I believe he lives in Kandui. So yeah, just watching him in the free surfs has been incredible, and yeah, he's definitely one to watch over the next few years, being such a young talent.
Dylan drove over here with a bunch of the crew from the Mental Ice, which was pretty crazy. I think it was like a 4 or 5 day drive to Cruy and then plus the drive here to Nias, which is so crazy. I mean, he's, I think, 16 years old, and it's just pretty cool to see, the different approaches from both Elliot and Dylan in this heat. Elliot obviously has so much power. He's a little bit more of a veteran in the Rashi compared to Dylan, but he seems like just as much of a grom as Dylan as well. And Elliot had a little look at that one, couldn't quite scratch onto it. Dylan has that first priority, but Safi, you were in this event and you were over in Cruy. You had a little bit of a hiatus from competing though. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty busy year last year with the Challenger Series and then the Olympics as well. So I think I burnt out from all the events and competing, and I decided to have a break after finishing the Challenger Series. Here we go, Elliot having a look here, Mark.
All right, let's have a look at this. So second wave, Powers off the bottom. He surfed this wave a lot. He would have had a lot of onshore belts out here over his time. He did really well yesterday to book himself a spot in the Red Rash Fest in the first semi-final here. He's up against a whole different prospect now, up against young Dylan Wilcoxon, who has just been tube riding his way through heat after heat. He's learning on the fly. You can just sense his confidence that's starting to grow under Dylan's Rash Fest, and he's between his ears. He's got a good team with him, but he came here last year and he made a few grommet errors and did things. His surfing was really good, but I think the fact that he got a little bit of early confidence in this year's event, it's just now starting to ooze out of his skin, and he's just starting to really go for it because the belief is there.
That first turn of Elliot's was so strong.
Yep.
Unfortunately not getting that completion, but still locks in a 3 just for that one turn. And yes, Saf, it was nice to see you back in the Rashi at Cruy. I was like, she's back and she's ready to go. And so, what's the goals? What's the plans for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to get a strong start to the year, and a 7th was definitely, a good start for me. Getting a semi-final finish in Cruy. Unfortunately, just couldn't back it up here in Nias, but that's the way surfing goes sometimes, and I think we have room for a small error this year, and so I'm really looking forward to going to Korea next month for another 6,000 in the wave pool, which will be super fun and interesting again because we don't have too many wave pool events on our schedule. Just ticking off every contest this year and seeing how we go.
Love it. Sure. Yeah, we're excited to see you back in the Rashi. Definitely missed you on the QS series, but someone who just didn't miss their mark in that last heat was Charlie Haitley. She booked herself a spot in the women's finals with Lucy Dara. She's down there ready to have a chat.
All right, I'm here with Charlie. Congratulations. You're in the final QS 6000. How are you feeling right now?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so stoked. I didn't expect to get this far, but yeah, I'm frothing.
Okay, so you're telling me you're supposed to be flying to Balita today, but obviously you're going to stay for this final. What is your approach?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going there, but just going to go tomorrow, get there when I get there. Yeah, the waves are super fun today. Smaller, but kind of plays right to my surfing, so.
All right, so what are you going to do now between now and your heat?
Probably just drink lots of water, watch the waves again, and get back out there.
All right, I'll keep this short so you can get ready. Here is your bang bang. And is there anything you'd like to say to friends and family at home?
Just thank you for all the support, my friends, family, sponsors. Grateful.
Thank you, and we're going to throw it back to the booth.
Unreal. Thanks, G. Here we go, everybody. Let's have a look at the first effort from the young fella out of the men's now, Dylan Wilcoxon, another 16-year-old major star on the rise here in Indonesia. You can see the conditions a little bit different today, so everybody learning on the fly, ladies, and just getting their head around the ocean here. Just nobody really teeing off just yet. A little bit of feel-out waves going on here. Even Elliot's last wave deciding to boost again. So he's ridden 3. Dylan's on the scoreboard, starting to take shape. So yeah, back to your story, Safi. Big year coming up then. What do we? The back end's all looking like 6,000s, is it?
Yeah, by the looks of it and the sounds of it, there might be an event in Japan, and then hopefully another event with Dylan getting up and going now, taking to the air again and lands that sick air.
Yep.
But then just goes quite fat, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the boys are going to really look for airs today with that wind. And
Dylan's got them dialed in, right?
Yeah.
We saw the varieties he threw down yesterday.
Absolutely.
And it is a light little onshore, which sort of provides ramps and those fluffy landings. So the fact that he's just nailed that one, it was just a small little inside wave, but it's probably just settled him now, and he's gone, all right, more of that. Go bigger, do it out the back, and the numbers will increase.
Yeah, that's it. Get your feet in the wax and the nerves settled. But yeah, no, big year ahead for all of us. Hopefully another event in the Philippines. I haven't been there yet, so I'm really looking forward to going to the Philippines towards the end of this year. But yeah.
You'd love it. Yeah, you're going to lose your mind over there. This is that first wave of Dylan's 4.5 is what it looked in as. And yeah, he's looking really strong right now. Love that he's just gaining momentum, catching heaps of waves. He's actually currently ranked 6th on the Asia rankings right now. And this result is going to be a huge step up on that rankings list, and hopefully into a Challenger Series qualification. And Mark, yesterday he was looking really good. He's looking the goods today right now. We actually saw Elliot have a pretty similar start to his last semi-final, and then he just switched on and went to town. I think we got a really good heat coming up.
Well, thanks for giving us 35-minute matchups this morning, everybody, because it's just for our benefit, the surfers' benefit, but for the entertainment value. They can keep teeing off knowing that, that extra time. They got here via 25-minute matchups pretty much all the way. They've now got 35. So there's still plenty of waves out there to get the job done. As you can see, Dylan's investigating again. He's probably just wants to keep surfing and surfing his way into his best form. He's looking for ramps, obviously. And I mean, why not? So it's a battle of a bit of a David and Goliath matchup here with Elliot and young Dylan. So I'm really interested to see just who books the first spot in the grand final. Just such contrasting characters and stories.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like they both have so much more to give, and when those waves come, I'd say they'll be going to town. I'm really looking forward to seeing Elliot really tee off and then Dylan answer back afterwards, keeping his nerves and gosh, it's such an exciting day today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing who gets crowned the champions of Nias this year. And true, it's been a long week, but
yes.
And obviously the swell hasn't stuck around, but they've still got so much talent to showcase. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's been so great to watch. And Dylan especially has been looking really strong in the air, gets that another rotation to completion, and he's just gaining a little bit more momentum in this semi-final. And as you said, Safi, the conditions have changed a little bit. I saw you and Taylor heading down on the bike this morning from, I was sitting at Casa Bebas with Giada. We were having our morning coffee, and I was like, it's Safi and Taylor. So did you have a surf? And talk us through the conditions. Give us a little insight.
No, it's definitely dropped off today, but it's still really rippable. I think if you can get it straight into that first part of the critical section of the wave, obviously the judge is going to really like that. But yeah, I think it's just about like a lot of energy and a lot of power, and obviously taking to the air today for the boys. Hopefully we can see some girls taking to the air too, but it's slow but Dylan just making the most of this.
Yeah, surfing his
for
way into
sure.
form in this final, isn't he?
Absolutely.
You can see just starting to feel it now. He's just riding sort of the B grade waves, but they've got ramps, and he's got an A grade air game. So he's just sort of collecting points under the guard of Elliot, who's waiting for something bigger and better because that's his strength. And Dylan, he's just getting better as he goes. How's these numbers looking there, True?
Yeah, 5.23 for the last of Dylan. His first was a 4.5. So Elliot, he's got a 3.83 and a 3 currently in his scoreline. He's chasing a 5.9. And I feel like I haven't seen, this much of an excitable Elliot in events before. He's just got this different energy about him in this one, Safia. It's great for us to see because he's just absolutely showing the passion. He's showing the fire in heats. It's great to watch.
Totally, yeah. I think Elliot's just got so much to give. He really showcases a lot of towards us younger kids. He's showing a lot of manaakitanga, which is a whole sense of community and showing us we're part of his family, and when we travel, we've always got each other's back. And I think Elliot's he's got no pressure on him. I think he's just obviously relocated to Bali and just kind of taking these events as they come and no pressure whatsoever. And it's really cool to see Elliot just kind of have nothing on his shoulders and just going absolutely bonkers. So it's cool to see Elliot in a total zen kind of environment. And I know he's been probably working on that with his dad and Dave Wood back at home in Piha integrated training. So I think it's paying off for him for sure.
Yeah, he said that the results haven't really been, what's in his mind. It's just to do good surfing in each heats. And it's, obviously there's a little thing being I'm in the semis, blah, blah, blah. But he's I just want to do good surfing.
Absolutely.
And I just want to catch good waves and do what I can do best on that. And I think that is seriously such a secret, especially in these events. And it's really paying off for Elliot right now. And but Mark, it's Dylan Wilcoxon that's out in front with a 5.23.
Well, it is, and it's a. You can see his theory. It's just keep surfing. He knows he's got the game to get numbers because he only needs one section. Just a ramp will do it. And a lot of these, even sort of half-size B gradish waves in today's conditions are enough for him to get these mid 4s, mid 5s. He got a 9 off sort of one massive turn yesterday, massive air. So his tactic is a little different, and he'll probably settle maybe once he gets priority. But under the guard of Al, he's just investigating around, and it's paid off right now. He's caught more waves. He's got bigger numbers. So being a Groms like to keep surfing. So I imagine until he gets the priority, he's probably maybe going to do more of this, which is good for us because there's a lot of ramps out there, and Dylan's a bit of a pilot. So I think what else goes well for Elliot and why we're seeing such a good result for him here is he's invested so much time on this beach, on this piece of reef, and coming and chasing gigantic swells, going to all our Asian events throughout the years. And he's been here a bunch of times with the Rashi on. He's been here pulling into gigantic surf. And between him and his dad, Jamal normally travels to these events with him, and he's not here this year. But, Al's... he feels comfortable out here any size, and I think that, and like you were saying, no pressure on the shoulders, not really chasing the points. It's kind of working in his favour.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when I first wanted to come here, I remember Dama telling me a story about Elliot and how he was surfing the swell of the year, and I think it was the year the boat went over the falls.
Yep.
And Elliot got held under for 2 waves, and he thought he was going to die, and I'm pretty sure he blacked out. And after hearing that, I was like, oh, do I really want to go to that?
But here you are.
Here we are for the 3rd time. But yeah, no. Fortunately, I haven't seen surf like that yet here. Can't say I want to get blackout.
3-wave hold down.
But glad to see Elliot's thriving and here today. So no, definitely time in the water out here is so important. I think it's actually a really tricky wave to surf and read sometimes if it's not barreling straight off the bat. So yeah, true. You've been here a few times. I'm sure you know the drill, but
Yeah.
here's Elliot about to take off.
Yeah, using the priority. He's waited a while for this one. He's patient. He's just trying to find that critical section, releases the fins, gets the rotation and completion. Quick foam climb as he kicks out of that one. So Elliot's got himself back into the game. He's looking for a 5.9. And that first turn was pretty exciting to see from Elliot, but I think he might need to get another connection to really challenge that 5.9.
That'll feel good for him because he's tried a few of them and he's now made one and he's still got 15 a bit minutes. So wherever this number goes, I think it just goes well for Elliot between the ears that he did that. He's got, a big game of tricks. He's probably not going to get barreled out here today, but you've just got to, get it done. And I think I'm glad he went for it and made it.
Yeah, building the house, I think, is a super important tactic today. Just keeping that momentum like we've been saying. And, I think being up against a kid like Dylan, he's got so much fire and kind of sass about him, I feel, that you really need to match that energy. And, Elliot's just trying as best as he can to, build that house and get some momentum back after that lull and wait in the swell. So, looks like there might be a wave coming here for Dylan again.
So the Grom now with priority, everybody. Let's stay with this live action because Dylan Wilcoxon is on wave number 5. He's prepared to boost at every opportunity. He's just winding up here, so gives it a nice hit with a big section. Another large second section. No aerial antics that time, just keeping it solid. Just top to bottom belts, looking pretty good, trying to burn off a 4.5. What did you like about that one, Safi?
Yeah, I think he going back to like original surfing and I guess, just wanting to stay right in that pocket. It is super crumbly, so it is quite hard to really keep that momentum, but he did really well to keep going down the line and made the most of that wave. And I think the score will probably reflect that.
Do you think it goes into his top 2?
Potentially, but I'm really not too sure.
Here goes Al.
Elliot, he's up and into this one. He gets that second turn in, tries to get a club sandwich. Unfortunately, just not a completion. That last wave of Dylan locks in at a 5.03. So Dylan extends his lead. Elliot is now chasing that 6.43 to go up into first place with just over 13 minutes to go. And Safi, I've been meaning to ask you as well. You had the privilege of going to Fiji with Leilani before coming here. Talk us through that because that looks like a pretty incredible experience.
Yeah, ISA reached out to me to see if I wanted to do a youth development camp with underprivileged kids from Oceania. They've done this like previously with Africa, I think Asia, and maybe Europe as well, potentially. And I could not say no. It was such a cool opportunity and I would go no matter what. And it was here goes Elliot.
Yeah, so this is where he throws it down. I've seen him make one of these before out here in a free surf a long time ago, so I know he can do it. He just needed, maybe a little bit more bowl on that wave, but Al is digging deep here. He's trying to match the Grom with, the innovative side of surfing. And he's still got 12 minutes to get out there and do it. A 6.43 needed. So our first finalist will be established after these next 12 minutes in the men's side of the draw. And Safi, having a little chat about your program and where you're at. Do you have a coach at home as well?
I dabble in a few different coaches. Back home in New Zealand, I've worked with Matt Scorange since I was a grommet, and then more recently I'd been working with a guy called Flo Bub, he originally was a professional skier, and he's really tapped into that high performance kind of side of things mentally and also physically. So I'd been working with him up until the Olympics as well. And then on the Gold Coast, I'd been working with Mick Caney, and that was a really cool opportunity to work with him as he's worked with the likes of Solly Bailey, Mace Callan, and here goes Dylan, True.
Yeah, Dylan up on another wave, looking to better a 5.03. That was a really strong first turn, but unfortunately coming unstuck for Dylan. That was really unlucky. He looks like he was on his way to another good number, just slowly bettering or slowly increasing his scoreline right now. A 5.23 and a 5.03. Elliot now holds priority, chasing that 6.43. He's having a look at this one, scratching into it. It's a good-looking wave, but he is like, you know what? I'm not seeing too much. He gets in and out.
Yeah, so just investigating, but the back end of that same wave, here is Dylan again, so he likes what he sees. He's only trying to burn off that 5.03, got a couple of moves in. We might have to rely on the Bonsai replay to catch the whole wave, but really, even though Dylan fell, it was no foul because there was nothing there for Elliot just at the moment. I thought if Elliot had got a good one, was that the turning point in his semi-final, but it didn't quite pan out that way. So, Safi, not many people ever get to go to the Olympic Games, all right? So let's talk about that for a moment. Going to Chopu, probably the scariest wave on the planet. Was it that scary? Was it as scary as everyone's as it looks?
Absolutely. I'm not by no means a big wave charger whatsoever, but I said before I even went to Tahiti that I'll give it a red hot crack, and really tried to put the time in over there. I tore my MCL on my first trip there, so that humbled me a lot, but returned and definitely gave it a red hot crack, but it is a really
beast.
Yeah, it is a beast.
Was there some sleepless nights when you got there and you're at the Olympics?
Absolutely. Yeah, sitting
Here goes your boy. Maybe take us through this one.
EPR about to take off here. Really looking for a score. So he's looking down the line. Critical section. Wow, nice big carving. Well, down carve straight into a nice little snap there. Looking forward to finishing that one off for EPR, and I think he'll build on his score with that wave. Again, building momentum, and hopefully he can get another one up his sleeve and really chase Dylan down here.
Yeah, he's chasing a 7.3 now because that last wave of Dylan locked in at a 5.9. So Dylan just extending that lead, but this power surfing of Elliot is looking really, really good. I mean, he's just seems in such a great flow out in this wave right now. And Dylan, he's spied something. Is he going to have a look at this one? He's just lazily paddling into it. And he's like, yep, I want it. He's up and riding, Mark.
All right, let's see what he's found this time. It's a fluffy first section, so he just tags it. He hits it squarely again and gets a little more funky with that second hit, just busting the fins a little. Now a little stock standard wrap out with the caddies. It was pretty good on a slightly bigger wave. That second turn the judges would take note of that. So I think once again, Elliot's number is probably going to not be the 7.3 anymore. I think it goes up.
Yeah, Elliot's definitely looking for a bigger score now. With just under 8 minutes to go here. I think he's going to have to look for something maybe with a bit more wall and steepness to the sections, and I believe he can do it. But Dylan looks like he's slowly taking off. With this heat at the moment, but
Elliot's number just came down with his last score, right? A 5.67.
5.67.
Yep. So his best wave easily. Well done.
Sure.
But it's going to go back the other way again, I think, when Dylan's last wave. Do you think it's the best wave of the semi-final? The last wave of Dylan's?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. That second turn was strong. He got 2 critical connections there for Dylan, so he needs to better a 5.23. I think he'll definitely do that. We're currently living in the 5s with all of these, with both Dylan and Elliot. Elliot locking in his best wave of the heat so far, being that 5.64. So let's take another look at this last one of Dylan's. It was a good-looking wave. He's kind of just paces it really well. This first turn was a bit of a foam kind of tap, but it's his second one here, ditches the fins. That was a really, really strong connection. It's a 5.77, so goes into the top 2. It's not his best wave of the heat, but definitely up there. Elliot holds priority. He's now chasing a 6, so that requirement does increase ever so slightly for Elliot. It's still within reach for him right now. I just feel like we haven't really seen him completely unleashed like we did yesterday. And I think we're bound to see it in the next 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that with that last score getting dropped, he'll definitely have a bit of fire in his belly to, start arcing up, as we say in New Zealand. So I'm sure he's, really looking forward to this next wave coming through. we've got 6 minutes, so I'm sure there'll be one heading his way.
6 minutes and he needs a 6.
6 and he needs a 6.
Sure, bro. So Elliot, he's got priority as well. So things are, highly doable here. I'm sure he'll realise, what it's going to take. He'll probably be very patient, I think, with these last 5.5 minutes because he needs a better wave than he's caught so far. He needs a clean wave, I reckon, and they are out there. You're just sort of hoping to get maybe a second wave of the set.
Oh.
So this is Dylan's replay.
Yeah, this is a 5.9 for Dylan. It's his best wave of the heat. Those 2 turns, I feel like that wave was a little bit bigger. And then this is a 5.77, his last wave, which went into the top 2. It was a really good 2-turn connection, Safi.
Yeah, for sure. No, his boards are looking really spicy under his feet. That second turn was unbelievable. Got all 3 fins ditched. So that's a bonus for Dylan. And
someone just was riding away by the sounds of things. Or was somebody just rocking around in the athlete area?
Maybe some encouragement for Teddy
the next
going
heat.
out.
The next heat, right, okay. So the next heat are starting to get their groove on and get their game faces totally dialed. So next semi will start in just under 5 minutes. Elliot's on the hunt here. He's looking really invested in this next swell, people. He's put in some massive strokes to get to this point. It's looking like a set wave. He might get a nice, easy little chip in here. So Al's got his bigger wave of this semi-final so far. His first turn is here, and he hits it high and tight. That was pretty sick. Still got a bit of work to do. He was on his way to the number, I believe. He just needed to ride out of that move. He threw it all on the line. Wow. I reckon he was there with that move. If he had made that, I think he gets it.
You can see that frustration there right now, Safia. Like, I agree, Mark. If you had made that second turn, that's a 6 every day of the week. That power surfing, you can see it's just, that was so unlucky for Elliot. I just feel like he would have got that for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I can feel his frustration.
I can't wait to see the replay as well because he really went for it and he knew he's got to. He wants to be in the grand final. There's a lot here to surf for. So that's what Dylan just threw down and didn't quite make it. This is the replay of ours. What did you like best here, Safi?
I really liked his commitment to each section. This first section was sick. He kind of, really needed to do it down the line turn to really get going, but for this next section. But, just got hung up there and his board kind of went away from him a little bit there too. Maybe a little bit of nerves and knowing he needed a 6 as the requirement, but I'm sure he'll be doing some deep breathing exercises right now and a bit gutted in himself, but I'm sure.
Trying to find the Zen zone.
Absolutely. But there could be a last kind of hurrah here. We don't know, but really looking forward to this.
We have a look at our scoreboard, Safi. There's been a lot of waves ridden in this semi-final, right? We've had 17 waves surfed. There's still 3 minutes. They're potentially still going to get another one each here. So although we've ramped it up to 35 minutes thinking, it's pretty slow, it's small, there's still enough motion in the oceans to suggest someone's just going to go nuts out here today in these finals. Huge amount of wave counts. Does Elliot get there? Send him your mojo right now, Safi.
Giving him a huge amount of wave right now. Here he goes. Under priority, Elliot taking off on a smaller looking wave, but could definitely offer him a couple of sections. Taking to the air.
Oh, wow.
Al's kind of feeling it. His body language looked pretty good at the end of that wave. I mean, he threw it out there again, matching Dylan with some innovative moves of his own. Got 2 sections, two manoeuvres for the judges to decipher. And True, what do you reckon?
It was a small wave. I mean, that first turn was really strong. He's chasing that 6, gets a variation in there, and he completes it. I'm not too sure. It's going to be really touch and go for the 6. I think with 1.5 minutes to go, he might need to catch another wave. It could go into the top 2. I'm not quite sure. I feel like the rotation was almost there. It's going to be really close, honestly.
Yeah, so first impressions, I'm reading that you're thinking he's probably not going to get there.
I don't think he's going to get there. I think it'll be close, but I don't think it'll be the 6 just yet. But I hope it is because Elliot is such a powerhouse. He's been an incredible surfer to watch this whole week. Just every single heat he's had, he's just brought so much fire, and he's definitely been the one to beat, in my opinion. But Dylan Wilcoxon has it against the ropes right now.
Well, Dylan's got 45 seconds. Everybody's got their breathless down there in the athlete zone right out front of our restaurant here where we're parked up, because this is a big moment, and the number is in. It doesn't go there. What is it there, Safi?
It looks like it's just a 5-1-3 there for Elliot.
Went close. Had a look at it.
Went close.
Yeah.
Definitely had a sniff. I think if he had got that half extra spin in there, it could have gone a little bit closer to that 6. But yeah, Dylan's just taking off here with priority and making sure Elliot, making sure he can close out this heat.
Oh!
Wow.
All right. Has he left the door open? 10 seconds. I can't see any more lines. Elliot sits there. He's kind of got that sinking feeling about now, but geez, he went down swinging, and that was a great semi-final.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was such an exciting one to watch. And Dylan taking it out there, Safi. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, good job, Dylan. And good effort, Elliot. Proud of you.
I'm going to shake your hand. Here comes the replay of Dylan's last wave. 20-odd waves were caught in that semi-final, everybody. I hope you were entertained. There it is. So that's not into the top 2, but it is academic that Dylan Wilcoxon moves through. Let's throw to a quick break, and we'll be back with the second semi-final, and Ben Lorenzen is coming in.
I said this. Yeah. You're right.
There's one thing we all love to bits. It's a fresh spritz. A little bit of ice. Juice is worth the squeeze. Now the magic elixir. Next up, a bit more citrus. Mint. Agave. Hey, that is incredible.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Nias Pro QS 6000. This is finals day for the QS. We have our first finalist, Dylan Wilcoxon, just turned 16 last month, and he is in the final. Super, super exciting stuff. In the water right now, we have in red Teddy Billy, and in the blue Lennox Smith. I'm Jada Legati, and I want to welcome back Daiwako, and a big thank you to Ben Lorenzen for coming in with us.
Hello.
Good morning.
All right, Ben. So, unfortunately you bowed out yesterday, but that is a huge result, quarterfinals. So how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, super stoked with the result, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch finals day. It's gonna be a really good heat, this one, I think. Yeah, it should be really exciting. We got 2 pretty different surfers out in the water, and
Looking like there's a bit of an exchange going on there. So Teddy just taking a look at this one. Sure, comes in at 157. So we'll see what he did. Just a quick turn there, goes for reverse, but unfortunately falls off. But yeah, okay. So quarterfinals. You told me you didn't sleep much throughout the week. You were pretty nervous. You got that 9. So tell us about that wave.
yeah, I was so nervous, pretty much the whole lead up to the comp, and we had a few lay days, and I don't know, the anticipation just made me even more nervous. So yeah, and then never made it past round of 32 in this higher seeding of a comp, and yeah, getting to the quarters, I was so scared.
What do you think was the main difference? What did you switch in this event, or what did you do that was different?
I'm not really too sure. I was only surfing less for the past 2 months, so probably had the worst preparation. So I didn't really have an expectation. And I don't know. I got all my goals written down and stuff, and one of them was to make a final stage. So so glad I did.
That's amazing. So I think we're gonna be seeing your best wave at 993 coming up. I'm sure you've seen it quite a few times before, but it was incredible. I think the best wave of the event. So here we have it. Talk us through your wave.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in first prio, and I sort of thought I was like way too deep, and then yeah, got that one pump at the start, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I normally when I try to do the no hand pump, I come off rail, but yeah, I didn't that time, so I'm pretty stoked, and got to cannonball into my mate Cam in the channel. It's pretty funny.
So of course the wave is incredible, but I think what people really loved as well was your claim and your mount off. So what were your emotions just like through the roof then?
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it, so yeah, it's definitely a really good feeling like coming out of that barrel, and yeah, no, just seeing the boys like cheering in the channel, it's yeah, no better feeling, and yeah, I'm just stoked. Yeah.
So you were in Crewy as well earlier, and how did you go there, and how did you like change the mentality and switch it up for Nias?
Yeah, Crewy is like my first comp back in like maybe like since the Philippines last year, so it's been like a really long time between events, and yeah, sort of just lacking a bit of confidence for sure, and I don't know, losing definitely is like something hard, you know, and like especially as an athlete when you work really hard for something and then to like bow out first event back and, you know, like just the waves not going your way or something definitely takes like a toll on your confidence for sure. But I don't know, I think just putting out positive energy and like having a positive outlook on things and having a good takeaway from each event, and I think journaling is really important, and yeah, I just know what I did wrong and then just reset, and yeah, definitely got a lot of confidence going right, and yeah, stoked to put a contest together.
That is like really great stuff you told us, and we'll get right back to that after this post-heat interview with Dylan Wilcoxon.
All right, everybody, I've got our first finalist on the men's side of the draw. It's his biggest event he's ever been in. He's 16 years of age. His name is Dylan Wilcoxon. Dylan, honestly, how are you feeling right now?
Yeah, super stoked to make the final. Yeah, stoked.
All right, well, he's going to be doing all the 6,000s this year. Ever in your dreams, it could be the possibility you might even end up surfing on the Challenger as a 16-year-old. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yeah, maybe.
He's a super shy guy, everybody, but let's talk about the gang you're rolling with. How many people are in the Team Mentawai gang here?
There's my mom, my dad, my two sisters, my brother, Torik, and Efron. All of us are here, yeah.
All right, well, your boards are going a treat for you as well, mate. You creased maybe your favourite one yesterday, but they're still that good. Tell us, what are you on?
Yeah, I'm on my round tail, driver 3.0. I would have been riding my swallowtail yesterday, but I creased it on the alley-oop, but still works good. Yeah, stoked.
All right, well, what are you going to do right now before the grand final?
I don't know, go home, reset a little bit, and then come back and then do the final.
All right, well, I'm going to give you a chocolate bar and I'm going to let you go because you've got a bit to think about between now and then. Super shy guy, but Dylan, we love your work and I seriously wish you all the best for the grand final. Well done, young man. Cheers, everybody.
Wow. You must be so stoked, Yada.
I'm so fired up. I mean, I spent quite a lot of time with Dylan in the Kandui Resort when I was there surf guiding. I think the longest time I spent there were like 2 months. And seeing Dill go from, this was already like 2 or 3 years ago, go from, you know, the Grom just surfing 4 bobs every day and Kandui to, you know, making it to this final here is, I think it's really emotional for me. I think it's a big moment, not only for all of Indonesia and the guys from Mentawai, but for him. Like it's big. He's really been trying to improve his heat surfing and his surfing, like his professional surfing dream is big. So and it's not easy, especially coming from a place like Mentawai where the waves are so good all the time. And I always used to tell him, like, you need to start groveling, you need to start surfing bad waves because it's not always like that. But you know, Nias is such a great wave, so it really suits his surfing right now. I'm excited.
And then in this heat, you have Teddy in this heat, and we probably surfing together back in Bali a lot of times. And here's Teddy up and riding. Nice smaller waves, nice first scarves to start with, but comes unstuck. fortunate for him.
Yeah, so just so Ben knows a little bit, me and Teddy grew up in Bali together. He's quite a bit younger than me. I think he's actually 17, so still really young as well, just a little bit older than Dylan. But surfs being in all the time. So he's also another guy who's used to the perfect waves, and we're a bit of a picky bunch, but this is his best result as well in any QS, really. And yesterday was his first time surfing man-on-man heats. So he's pretty fired up. And Kian Martin is out there as his caddy, has been giving him his best advice, and they have a really nice group going there. But back to Ben. We, as you know, lately now more than ever, we'll get back to that as we watch Teddy's wave. Good first turn, floats this section. He's gonna want to start, stringing this heat together, start completing waves and building up that confidence. So this is probably gonna be the best wave for now. But hopefully this wave gives him a little something to work on the inside. Lays it back. So nicely done from Teddy.
Definitely nicely done from Teddy. Been struggling to get a couple turns in, but now he managed to put a couple turns in. And yeah, that was great surfing from Teddy.
Definitely surfed that wave up, I think. That was a pretty average wave. Got a score on the board. Good start to the heat, I think.
But here's a replay. What do you like about it?
Yeah, his first turn, nice in the lip, jab. The wave was just super average, but he surfed his wave well, put it together really nicely. Yeah, he's a good competitor. He's a good athlete, and props to him. He's done amazing this event. Getting to the semis is a huge result, and heard his post-heat interview yesterday, and he says he wants to take the win, and I don't doubt it at all. I hope so, and yeah, by the looks of things, he's starting off really strong. So,
have you had a heat with Teddy this event?
Yeah, in the round of 16.
So tell us a little bit what it was like, because I know his approach can be upfront.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't experienced anything like that before. Yeah, he's definitely all up in everyone's face, which is, it's good. I think that a lot of people can get in someone's head, but yeah, I don't buy into that game. So, yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool to see different ways people approach heats, and true mongrel. I love it. Yeah, it's good.
Well, he is kind of the Grom of the event, so he's trying not to let that take him down. So that's his approach to build his mental strength and make sure he's present in the moment. But what we were saying before, which I'll try to get back to now to see if there's a set coming, because I think there was something. All right. So lately now, more than ever, as surfing becomes even more professional, everyone is finding new and different approaches. We see Griffin Colapinto always doing the breath work, and you're doing journaling now, and I've heard quite a few people do that as well. So how did you start into that, and what inspired you to start journaling?
Oh, here we go. Lennox might be on his first wave. Here we go. Coming off the bottom. That was a really aggressive turn. I like that. Bang. Wow. He is not showing any signs of a sore knee right now. That was really impressive. What a wave.
That was a great surfing from Lennox.
Nice
Been waiting for 8 minutes for that first wave, but definitely kept to that first priority, and well surfed from Lennox Smith.
Yeah, Leno. That was mental. That's a great start to the heat, I think. 3 solid turns out the back. I think the judges will love it.
Talk us through, Dai. What do you think?
Well, first turn, really lays into it, and gets the second turn, throwing the fins out. And, really smooth connection between turns, and I love the first turn and second turn. So definitely it's going to be a healthy number for Lennox Smith to start this heat, and definitely back in the game now. 7.00 straight away.
Yeah, that's a big score.
One of the biggest heat score this morning, probably. 7.00 is a super healthy number for Lennox.
Yeah, we can hear people cheering outside. So that's a good score today for Lennox Smith. A beautiful way to start his heat. you're right, showing no signs of his knee really bothering him. So it's gonna be a great matchup.
20 minutes left. This is a great start. Always posting a big score on your first wave is big confidence boost, and that's definitely a keeper score. So looking good, Leno.
So have you been journaling really long time?
Yeah, like a few years now.
Oh, wow. What are the takeaways from the journaling?
I just think it's a good thing to look back on, So if I have a good event or a breakthrough, I know how I was feeling then or what I was doing, and you just remind yourself of those little key things you take away from each event, and yeah, it's good. It's good to look back on and sort of just know what made you do good and what was your lead up and how you felt, and it's definitely for me, I've definitely seen improvement just from journaling.
Wow.
And yeah, I think it's super important for athletes for sure.
How did you start? What inspired you?
My mum was probably my mum. She always said to just take notes of everything and sort of just write everything down, and yeah, so shout out to mum.
So leading up to these events, we'll just watch this replay again of the 7. Lennox Smith really jammed it in the pocket there. I like this turn. It went a little more vertical there, showing that he is giving the variety, pushes the tail a little more on that third one. This last turn just to wrap it all up, show the judges that he's under control. He's got it all down. So a 7 for Lennox Smith. That must be a little bit of a jab for Teddy. You don't love hearing your competitors start with such a high score in their first wave. But right now, Teddy, talk us through this one.
Coming off the bottom. Nice. That was a really aggressive first turn. Looks like he's picked the first wave of the set. It's going to give him an M bolt. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Throws the fins into reverse. That's a great
wow.
comeback wave right there. Super solid surfing.
Definitely great answer back from Teddy. He knew that he needs to go big, and that's exactly what he did on the last turn. That was massive rotation from Teddy.
All right, Lennox out the back. Taking a look at that one, wasn't really convinced. So Teddy, a different approach to Lennox's first wave. He's gonna try go big. He heard that 7, and I think Teddy's not gonna be holding back from now on. But yeah, so while we wait for that replay, coming up to these events, what does a normal day to you look like, and how do you train for these events?
Yeah, so normally I'm working in the lead up quite a bit because the comps are definitely pretty expensive to do, but in between work and stuff, it's a lifeguard back at home, so even in a full day of work, you can get a surf on your lunch break and before and after work. So it's a pretty awesome job for what I'm doing. And yeah, and then I train a few times a week with my coach back home. His name's Ash Jones. And yeah, he puts me on a program, and oh, here we go, Lennox. Bang. Oh. 2 big turns. Nice. That was really solid surfing. Wow.
He was liking it. Gave himself a bit of a clap, yeah. Would love to see the replay of that one. I'm sure he got some really nice turns down out the back. So the last of Teddy comes in at a 5.33. Now we're waiting for one more score of blue to come in, but I think it's going to be a pretty good one.
So here's a replay of the last of blue, taking off this nice set, floater section and Cameron. And this is a nice, projection turn from Lennox. And that's a much better looking turn. And it gets another one in. So that's a smooth transition in between turns. That's great surfing from Lennox Smith.
He's looking confident. He's looking good. These are 2 really good scores.
So he has a bit of a knee injury. Can you tell us a little bit about what he's going through and what happened?
Yeah, I spoke to him yesterday. He said he just came back from 100% pretty much. He said he had done something to his meniscus in the outside of his knee. Oh, Teddy ripping in. Wow. super unfortunate to catch a rail there. That was a big turn.
Yeah. So he was saying he's 100% and he's coming now. And he just injured himself here.
Yeah, I think in the round of 16, he said that he just felt some pain through his meniscus. I don't really know too much about it, but yeah, he definitely said he was hurting. But by the looks of things, he's ripping.
Wow.
So he's a tough guy, and yeah, surfing really well for his knee. And yeah,
The last wave for Lennox Smith comes in 617. So 2 solid scores on the board now. Lennox is in the lead.
Yeah, so 617 and a 7 for Lennox Smith. Now it is Teddy Billy with a bit of work to do. A 784 is a pretty big requirement, but with 15 and a half left and only 2 surfers out, it's you can either do it in one wave or you can catch 2 waves and kind of catch up.
Yeah, he was kind of on the way to the good score on the last wave, Teddy. Unfortunately, he catches a rail and goes down, but definitely he knows that he needs to go big, and he has a skill to do it. So cannot wait to see he's on the next one.
he was on his way on that last wave. First turn was massive. That's what he needs to do, and I think he knows that. Here we go, Lennox. Coming off the bottom. This is a good looking wave. Just a bit late to the section there.
All right, Teddy taking a look at the second one. Here he's out the back. 784 is his requirement. So Teddy takes off. Let's see what this wave gives him to work with. Bit of whitewash on the face of it, so maybe not the best wave. Whoa, that was really close.
Oh.
So that was a pretty tight. So yeah, that wave had a bit of whitewash on it. Not too much of a great wave selection. Had that bit of a weird chop hop over Lennox. So we'll see if that comes in as an interference or not. But yeah, just different approaches to this heat right now. We're seeing Lennox caught less waves, but really great quality. Teddy just keeping busy, trying to, build his house and build his score. What do you think, Dai?
Well, probably this is not a wave for him to get, but that was a little bit of, almost run over Lennox Smith, but at the back, the big sets coming through to the lineup now. I don't think they can make it on time.
What's your thoughts on that, Giada? What are you thinking?
That last one, the chop hop over. I'm actually not sure. I mean, it's a bit of a strange one. I've never actually seen that happen in a heat before, so we'll kind of check it out. There's so much space in the lineup, but right now Teddy on the inside takes for the air, goes big, but unfortunately just isn't able to ride out of that one. But yeah, I've never seen that in a heat before. I honestly don't think that will be considered interference.
Yeah,
as there's a huge space actually on the wave. So yeah, you're right. I don't think it's gonna be interference, but a little bit of a strange moment.
I think it all just depends on how you look at it. Like it could be both sides.
Right.
Like
Definitely.
There's a large space you could surf around him, but then also Lennox also has a large amount of space you could surf on the inside. So it's kind of like those weird moments when you're free surfing as well, that people are like, "Oh, get out of the way," but then it's like, you don't know really what's happening. But we were talking earlier, Ben, that you were on a recent trip to Fiji, was it?
Yeah.
And I saw you drop some crazy clips at that left. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I spent like 7 weeks in Fiji on the mainland, and one of my mates over there, Kurt, if you're watching, hope you're doing well, mate. Oh, that was nice. Little comeback wave there. Yeah, spent like 7 weeks on the mainland with one of my good friends, and pretty much surf cloud break every day. And, it was such an awesome opportunity, and to have a friend over there, it's unreal, and yeah, hopefully get to go back in August and see him again, and depending on what the contests are doing and stuff. But yeah, it was just to get to experience some bit bigger waves. We don't really get that on the coast. So yeah, it was really fun. So sick trip.
Okay, so the last of Teddy, pretty nice wave there. Bit of a reverse at the end. I think he's just trying to surf his way back into maybe a bit of a confidence booster. He had a bit of fumble on his best wave, so hopefully he has enough time to get back out there. But it is Lennox Smith looking pretty comfortable with a 7 and a 617. Here's a set approaching. Let's see if he goes.
Leno's looking to drop this 6. Ooh. No takers.
And Teddy just swapped his surfboard, actually, changed his equipment. So I wonder what that gonna do next 10 minutes.
All right, so Ben, what's the rest of the year looking like for you? What are your plans? What are your goals, and what do you expect out of yourself?
Yeah, well, I really want to post another good result in a 6,000. It's definitely one of my goals, and yeah, I want to qualify for the Challenger Series this year. It's definitely been a goal of mine for a few years now, and yeah, I haven't had a crack like a full run on the QS without getting injured ever. So yeah, that's my goal, is get a full year on the QS and compete in a few more 6,000s, and yeah, goal is to make the Challenger Series.
So what are the contests that you're going to be doing this year?
I'm heading to Korea next, and then here we go, Teddy.
Important wave for Teddy. Went for it in the first section. Unfortunately, comes unstuck, but at the back, Lennox is up and riding, trying to get rid of the 617. But the first section, he hit it so hard, and second turn as well.
Wow.
Gets the third turn in. So that's a great combination from Lennox.
Holy smokes.
Wow, that was a really good wave from Lennox Smith. I think he's definitely getting rid of that 6. Wow, what a wave. Lennox not looking like he's injured at all. He ripped that through 3 big turns, a lot of spray out the back. Well done, Lennox Smith.
Wow, that was a crazy wave. Like to put together a wave like that with the amount of chop on the face is so impressive. And yeah, timing, especially on a wave like this, is really hard, especially when it's onshore. So I'm really impressed. That's a massive score. Wow. 8-5.
There we go. 8-5. That is some great stuff from Lennox Smith. You know, he just went to his strength, went to turns. What do you like about this one, Dai? Talk us through.
Well, I really love the first attack there. Just tucks into the right time, right section, and straight into the second. It gets third turn in, a little bit of release in the tail, and wow, that was a well surfed and great surfing from Lennox Smith. 8-5. It's a massive score. So now he's in the lead with 8-5 and 7. Teddy's in a combo situation now.
Wow. Okay. So something I've said quite a few times in the past, Ben, is that I think what makes a great competitor and a finalist is someone who can adjust to the conditions really quickly.
Right.
So we've had, in the beginning, really fun, perfect rippable waves. Then, it got really big and barreling. And now it's a little more grindy. There's that onshore wind and it's a little smaller. So what do you think is do you think that's like a vital part of being a competitor?
100%. I think like the surfers left in the draw have just adapted so well to the conditions and are really all-rounded surfers. Oh, here we go. Comeback wave. Come on, Teddy. Let's see it. Needs to go big here. Boom. That was nice.
Oh.
Almost fell off on that one. So managed to stick through the second one again.
Great surfing.
So Lennox Smith, Teddy Billy coming back. He's fighting back. He's not letting himself get intimidated by those scores. And he's feeling much better now, I think, under that surfboard. He had a board swap.
Right.
So maybe, like we were saying, adapting to the conditions, changing his equipment, and, giving himself the best opportunity.
Definitely, it was a great surfing from Teddy. There's a moment that he almost falls off, but still, well, this is a replay of Last of Red. he knows that he needs to go big, and he did. Nice first turn, and gets a little bit, almost falls off, but sticks to the landing and gets another tail bro. So that was great surfing from Teddy. It's gonna be a good number.
I think this should get him out of combo. I'd love to see the front on of it, see how it looked from the judge's angle. But yeah, that was a really well put together wave. I think if he didn't get stuck on that second turn, then it would have been a massive score. But really well done. It's easier said than done.
So throughout this event, because quarterfinals is huge, you recently lost. What adaptations have you made throughout the week?
Yeah, definitely like trying out boards in different conditions, and like expecting the onshore heats, and like in my round of 16 it was like pumping the heat before it was offshore winds, and then I paddled out there and it went onshore and there was no more barrels. So you just got to adjust in the heat and pick those waves that are going to allow you for that scoring opportunity on the turns, especially if it is onshore. And I think having lower expectations is a really big thing. Like the waves are firing, but you might have a slow heat, especially on the good days. It was like one heat on, one heat off, and I was lucky enough to get a few heats on, which was awesome. But a lot of the competitors didn't, and it's just adjusting to that and like making adaptations in your heat to just get going instead of just sitting and waiting. And these guys are amazing at that. Like especially Teddy, like he smashed it through the earlier rounds. Like he's been ripping, he's been on, and so is Lennox. Lennox is surfing so good, it's insane. Here we go, another wave. Needs to go big here. It's a bit of a small wave. Let's iron off this section. Wow, throws it. I think Teddy just needs to pick a bit better wave here. I think just getting a little caught up on those smaller ones. Needs a 7.91, and he's so capable of that. Last wave was a 7.6, so one more set wave, and it's going to be a really close end to this heat if another set comes, for sure.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think Lennox has had a lot of competitions in the past, and he has a lot of experience, so I don't think he's going to make life easy for Teddy right now.
Yeah, Lennox is a super smart competitor. He knows how to close out a heat and what waves are going to give him scores out there. And he's a hard person to beat. He is an amazing athlete. So.
Maybe we'll see a bit of reverse psychology, and Lennox is going to start sitting on Teddy.
yeah. This is going to be cool. I can't wait to see how the last 3 minutes of this heat goes.
It's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, but what a comeback from Teddy. The previous wave comes in 7.5.
All right, here are some other replays. I think this is probably the 7 from Lennox Smith. Big, beautiful turns out the back, but it was really the next one, that 8.5, that caught everyone's attention. He got injured earlier this week, but he's looking in great form. So here we go. What do you think about this one, Dai?
Well, everything was on point. The first sound just tags into the perfect section, throwing a lot of sprays. It was just beautiful surfing. He did everything he could on that wave, and as well the wave section was super nice. And this is live action, gets the rotation in, and I'm not too sure what he did at the back, but at the back Lennox Smith is up and riding. Nice first and second turn, and gets the turn in. Wow.
How good is that? The boys are going at it. That is unreal.
Oh, there is definitely some mind games happening out there. Everyone is fired up right now. So 2 scores to come through. This has been a pretty entertaining heat. Wow. And look at the difference. Teddy, 12 waves ridden. Lennox, on the other hand, just 4. So 2 different approaches happening here. And it's going to be a pretty crazy last 90 seconds here.
Teddy absolutely greased the landing. I saw it just through our little view here. And it looks like he did a really nice air. So I wonder what the scores are going to come in. I think Lennox might better on the 7 here. I'd love to see that front on. It'd be sick.
Yeah, so we'll wait for the replay. It's the last of Teddy, a 4.70, so he doesn't improve his scoreline. This is a replay of that last one of Teddy. So we'll see if he did anything out the back. A nice first turn here, and he sets it up for this second one. Really beautiful landing. Unfortunately here, kind of stumbles and doesn't really ride out of it, but behind Lennox Smith. Good wave.
Wow.
Love that second turn. Really extends the tail out and hacks into this third one. Bit of a spray in the face.
Wow, that was a big first. Coming around this bit. 40 seconds to go.
It's needing now 7.91. But I'm not sure it's gonna be enough, enough requirement for Teddy. But out the back, Lennox Smith is up again on this set.
Yeah. Wow. This is a heated matchup. What a heat. Wow.
All right, so counting this one down, this was pretty wild. That was a lot of tension throughout the heat. Lennox Smith, that last one comes in 7.53, so he does improve his score. Teddy Billy, unfortunately, I don't think catches another wave. So Lennox Smith will be joining Dylan Wilcoxon into the final right after the women's final. So we're going to head over to a quick break, and we'll see you guys in the women's final.
Cow! Oh, mate. I just went for a drive. Surf is cooking, bruh! Wind's gone offies. Swell's starting to pulse. You all fueled up? It's you and me, man. We're going to get cone today. Yeah, let's go, brother.
Welcome back to the Nias Pro QS 6000. Right now in the water is the women's final. Lucy Dara, Charlie Hatley. It's been a big couple days, but we made it, guys. I'm Jada Legati. I want to welcome in the booth with me True Starling and Mark Clift. Welcome back, guys.
Oh, thank you, Giada. I'm so excited for this final. Lucy and Charlie, they're good friends. This is a dream final for them, two goofy footers. This is going to be pretty crazy because both of these women have obviously been dominating throughout this whole event. And yeah, this is just pretty incredible stuff. They're 15 and 16 years old. They're still really young. 6,000 points on the line right now. Can't believe it.
I know, right? And it's good to see new faces at the highest end of events like this. So we've got fresh stories as well. We've got a couple of stars on the rise, having a huge event here. 6,000 points on the second part of the Asian Tour this year. It's just a dynamic moment for these two. So I asked Mrs. Haitley, I said, listen, how nervous are you right now? She said, not really, because this is like, they're just best friends and this is really cool. And she goes, I'm just happy for them both. So I went, good on you. So kind of the pressure valve is off for the crew in the corners, but I'm sure these ladies, there's a lot of unfinished business and some big moments to get through here.
Yeah, I was down at the competitors area while I was watching the first semifinal with Dylan Wilcoxon and Elliot. And actually, I was surprised to see both the girls just sitting down having a juice. They're like, we should take photos together with our rashies. So it was really cute to see them hanging out there, and just shows that, you're going against your friends, but at the end of the day, they both want the win. So it's going to be a great matchup here.
Yeah, it really will be. I was speaking with Lucy in her post-day interview, and I was like, this next semi is really good. And she goes, I hope Charlie wins because I want a final with Charlie. And I was like, wow. And that's what she's got. And I feel like both of them, they're just going to absolutely go for it. I mean, they both have a very similar approach to the waves, that backhand attack. Charlie maybe has a little bit more experience in this, like, pointier end of the draw, in the sense of, she got a semi-final or a final finish over in Cloud 9. So she's used to this little bit of extra pressure. And Lucy right now, she's got nothing to lose. You know, this is her first ever QS final. This is like the furthest that she's gone in one event like this, and she's just happy to be here and to keep surfing.
And what an event. I mean, surfing Nias by yourself with your bestie is like kind of a dream.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see some really good scores from the girls and get some surfing. But I just want to touch base a little bit on that last semifinal.
Let's talk about that.
A lot going on. So, you know, it kind of started off. Teddy, throughout this event, has had, you know, that fame of just being very present in the heat, sitting on his competitors. And when Ben told me that in the heat he had with Teddy, he was all up in his face and like a very strong approach. And I felt like Lennox maybe is like the opposite of that. So there was a bit of an exchange in words in the beginning of that heat.
Oh, there was a moment, was there?
Yeah, it was wild, but it was entertaining. You know, it shows how important it is for all these competitors. And but yeah, Lennox getting the better of it and passing to the final.
All right, first wave of the grand final goes to Charlie Haitley. She's just surfed off the screen, but we'll catch up with her in a moment. But she is on her way. We'll get a replay. Good old Bonsoy, they'll get us a replay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, Lennox is super mellow until you push his buttons, and then he's ready to fire up. He's ready to go. And at the end of that heat, it looks like there was a bit of a back and forth, kind of heckling each other a bit. And it seems like Teddy pushed Lennox's buttons a little bit there. And he definitely was like, you know, I'm here for it. I'm surfing, and I'm into the final.
So did it backfire for Teddy? Did he poke the bear a bit too hard?
It kind of looks like it because Lennox smashed that heat. It was just beautiful surfing, really tight in the pocket. He wasted no time in between turns. So it was really well done from Lennox. And it didn't look like he was fighting an injury at all. So This is a replay of the last of Charlie Haitley. Big first blast there. She sets it up again. Oh, I love that second turn. And this is what got Charlie into this final, a 6.33 to start things off.
Yeah, that was really strong surfing from Charlie. Something we're so used to seeing as well. She's just so consistent. She's really just reliable on her backhand and also her forehand. But she knows that her backhand snaps are her strength out here, and that's what she's going to. She's like, I know that this is what I need to do, and I'm just going to rely on it. She's working really hard. She's a part of the Surfing Oz group, training with Pete. Ree's back at home, and I know also Lucy trains with Pete as well. So big congratulations to Pete, because you know both Charlie and Lucy are just putting into practice the work they've been doing at home.
Well, the training's paid off. Whatever program they're on, it's a good one. It's working perfectly here at this event. I reckon also watching that last heat, ladies, I think the surf's gotten a little bit better. The tide's almost at about low, getting close to it. There just seems to be more bowlier sections and a little bit less bump. That's what I've noticed out of that last heat anyway. So Charlie found a pretty clean couple of pockets there for a good start. I imagine she's pretty confident. Yeah, as you were saying, the backhand is a weapon. I saw her win a QS in WA in October last year, a 1,000 down at Injured Up Car Park on a backhand. Went crazy there. It looked really good. It fitted into that wave perfectly as well. And, she's really just surfing to her strengths throughout. And having a folks here, I think, is just really settled Charlie. They've got a big travelling program coming up, but she's another youngster on the rise. So, you know, I reckon remember these names, everybody that's tuning in, because you'll be hearing a lot more from these two.
So actually having a quick chat with Charlie after her semis, that she actually hasn't qualified for the Challenger, but she has gotten an alternate spot. So she was supposed to be flying out to South Africa today. She was like, I was counting on losing, but she just made the final at the 6,000. Wow. So she's like, yeah, no, I'm definitely staying. And hopefully after this result, and hopefully she posts up a couple more, she'll be able to qualify herself into a Challenger Series for next year.
Yeah, wow. She was in the Newcastle event as well, that first Challenger Series. So, it's great that she's able to head over to South Africa. And Charlie, she had a little bit of a fumble in Cruy. She had priority. There was a wave coming through and she just didn't take it. She didn't need a big score. And I was talking to her and she was like, I don't know. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't even know if I was, and I know that rattled her a little bit. So I think this is a huge confidence boost for Charlie being in the finals. She just wants to surf. and produce her best surfing. And she's been doing that this whole event and so far in this final as well. A 6.33 is a great way to start. Looks like there's maybe a line rolling through, and it's definitely looking like it's getting a bit more consistent, as you were saying, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's improved. There's just more better scoring opportunities out there. We'll have a look at Lucy's first effort now. Rolls in on her backhand. So the judges have got clear indications of, similar styles of backhand surfing. Really tagged that second section beautifully. A big, clean section. So they'll now be remembering and probably watching replays of Charlie's first wave as well, because Lucy, really good connection with that second section there. I really liked it. So great start for both.
Looks like Lucy's done a bit of a board swap as well. She was riding that pink board a little bit earlier on throughout this whole event, actually, and then also in that semi-final earlier. So she's changed boards, just relying on, her instincts and her gut in regards to what equipment she should be riding out there. And Charlie had a little look at that one. The next final, though, for the men's, wow, it's going to be a pretty exciting one. Dylan Wilcoxon and Lennox Smith. That's huge.
Yeah, and now that I'm seeing a little bit of this onshore wind come on, I'm hoping that Dylan takes to the air, because that's some of the biggest scores we saw yesterday was Dylan just finding
This
those
connection
big turns.
again, True. What did you like about this?
Yeah, that was a really great first turn. Lucy's backhand is super strong. Gets that second one in. That was really smooth. And just flowing through each turn. She's looking confident. It's a really good way to start off her final. She looks like there's no nerves.
Yep, the friends are duking it out in the grand final. There's a lot on the line here today. 6,000 points you can't buy. Big numbers are going down all over the place just for their first exchange. It's just about neck and neck with a slight advantage to Lucy. And I reckon that was probably purely because of the connection on that second move.
Yeah, so both the girls are incredible surfers. I just think maybe Lucy's wave had just a bit more face to it and was able to just hit it a little tighter in the pocket and go a little more vertical than Charlie. But wow, this is going to be a great matchup. You're right. Both girls have strong backhand turns. So it's a great way to have this final.
Yeah, I know they were really excited for it. Charlie, she's on a bigger looking wave. Gets that first backhand carve in. Loading up for a better connection there for Charlie. She rides out of that one, and that was a good-looking turn there. Two turns, she'll get it back up, and I know that she's just happy to be building house right now, but I think we'll see a bit more coming from her in the next 24 minutes.
Yep, and you can see our official photographers out there in the channel catching all the action, being both very similar, backhand style, super young. Lots of similarities. I think at some point there's going to be a real point of difference in this final to clinch it. The judges are seeing a lot of, big backhand blast, but maybe somebody's going to find a wave where they get to do it 3 times or a big fin bust somewhere along the way to win this final. So the stage is set, 23.5 remaining. Saraki Beach, Lagundri Bay here in South Nias, everybody. It's just off the coast of Western Sumatra. And here we are. Hope you've been enjoying the last 6 days. It's been a big campaign. We've just about rolled out close to 100 heats to get to this point. So been really good teamwork.
Yeah, that last wave of Charlie locks in at a 5. So she goes up into the lead, and Lucy, she still has that best wave of the heat so far. It's a 7. She needs a 4.33 to go to first. And again, it's just not a big number for Lucy. She's been surfing so incredibly, and I know that both of these girls right now, I don't think they're feeling nervous. I think it's just like, hey, we're having a heat together. We just want to surf and produce our best surfing and push each other. Lucy, she's having a paddle, trying to scratch into this one. Looks like she does, Giada.
All right, so let's take a look at this wave from Lucy. She wants to back up that 7. Good first turn here. Sets it up straight away. Really big blast there for that second one. Unfortunately, fumbles a little bit there, but manages to stay on her board. That's going to be a really good backup for Lucy Dara.
Look, I agree. Really a solid second section again, and got up there and gave it a bit more sting than the last wave. The little fumble at the bottom of that. Let's see if that affects the score. But right now, they both have not put a foot wrong realistically. They're both into this final in good form. Really doing some A-grade surfing here on some slightly onshore 3-foot waves at Lagundri Bay. 2 best friends just teeing off here having a ball. I think there's still more to come. They're just building a house, as we like to say, but they're in their groove. They're both well in the zone here, and here comes Wave. Whoops. Not yet, but I'm sure we're going to see a Bonsai replay. Scores in, very similar, but it is now Lucy Dara with the 2 best numbers.
Yeah, it's a 6.53 for Lucy's last wave. Charlie, she's looking for a 7.2 to go to first, and Lucy was like, maybe I'll take this one under prio, but doesn't like the look of it. And yeah, Lucy out to a strong lead right now. A 7 and a 6.53 is a good combination of scores for a final, but I think we'll see it start to increase towards the end of this one.
Yeah, and I'm hoping so. You know, the girls just having that baseline now, it's already a great one. So they're just going to start cranking it up from now on. But I do love this second turn from Lucy Dara. You know, her bottom turn is so beautiful. Her arms just stretch out wide and just really hits that section in the pocket. So Lucy, 6.53 and a 7, currently looking like she's in a good headspace.
Yeah, for sure. Only 15 years old, and Charlie just turning 16 as well. These young women are surfing well beyond their years right now. They've been dominating this whole event, knocking out some huge names. Both Lucy and Charlie's heats have been so stacked throughout the whole event, and to meet each other in the final is very special. And yeah, I'm really excited for this final. I was part of Team New South Wales as one of the coaches for Aussies last year, and Lucy was actually in the team, and she ended up getting second at Australian junior titles in the under-16s, and it was so special to just watch her absolutely go to town. On her backhand also, she didn't quite get the win, so I think this is a little bit of redemption right now for her.
All right, so you've coached Lucy in the past before, and with conditions like we have today, what would be something you'd say to, like, this is your strength, go for this?
I think those big backhand blasts, for sure. I mean, the 7 and the 6.53 already, we've seen that they've been rewarded, and I think for her, I'm like, just get into the pocket, stay in the pocket, turn in the pocket, be in the most critical part of the wave, because you'll get rewarded for it. Big turns, big scores, kind of thing. And honestly, the same thing should be said to Charlie as well. She is also so incredible in the pocket. Her backhand whips are huge, and she is able to get her fins out and that bit of extra rotation as well. It's a really similar approach to both these girls in regards to surfing the waves in this heat.
Ooh, replays. Let's have a look at this. So this is the work Charlie's done. This is her better number. So it was the opening wave of the final. This was a 6.33. Smallish wave, but the first turn had a lot of power attached to it through a lot of spray. And this will be her backup number now for the 5. So, all right, so what I'm seeing out of this, a little bit of a difference is that Lucy, and just getting stuck there a little bit might have detracted from the 5, but I think Lucy's finding better second sections on her waves, tagging it nice and clean so far. I still reckon someone's out there and they're going to put together a 3-hit wave, which could end up, being the real decider here in this grand final. So slightly better wave choice right now for the youngster in red, Lucy.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe the wave choice is just a little better, giving just more opportunity for her to go a little more vertical in the pocket. So I don't doubt, though, that once Charlie gets the chance to fight back, she definitely has all the surfing to get that 7.20.
Yeah, I agree. I think once Charlie gets herself in a position to be on those steeper waves and maybe those bigger ones, because they are still coming through, then we'll see her open up. She got second to a good friend, Sierra Kerr, over at Cloud9 last year. She was traveling with Sierra and Josh as well, and they had their own little competition going on to be like who could get furthest in the event. Or whoever got the highest heat total or something like that in their heats would get to choose dinner that night, and it was like an every night kind of thing last year in Cloud9. It was so cool, and I think it just kind of created their own little competition between the three of them, and it was Sierra who got to choose dinner that final night, and it transferred over through to Taiwan as well. It was really cool to just see them pushing each other. It was great.
All right, maybe an opportunity starting to present itself. Charlie's got first dibs on this. She looks like she's going to pull the trigger. She does. So let's watch wave number 3 here for Charlie. Doesn't like what she sees. A little bit of a wave just not living up to what she thought. So little moment there, plenty of time remaining, 16. She realises that, out she goes. So good news for Lucy, grabbing priority and is just trying to improve on a 6.53 as the surfer in red.
Charlie's a pretty tenacious competitor. Every time I've seen her in heats, if she's been coming from behind, there's just something happens in her mindset where the penny drops or things change and she just really opens up. And I feel like that little bit of frustration is her just, maybe that's her way of resetting, to just like let it out and just be like, okay, next wave, I'm going to open up.
Yeah, there's so many athletes out there. Like, it can go either way. There are a few that just break under pressure and are used to just starting strong and finishing strong. And then once they have a bit of a mistake, they kind of just lose, all composure and just break down. And then there's other people, like you say, like Charlie, who under pressure kind of push through and fight back and get the scores they need. So I'm hoping for Charlie that this is one of her heats where she does that. And it'd be great to see a little bit of a battle go down between Lucy and Charlie.
So potentially a little reset moment there for Charlie. She's the only surfer that beat Ella in this draw. She knocked her out of the event and beat her the other day as well to get into the quarterfinals. So she's got the belief there. She has been just looking so strong. Slightly different surface today, slightly smaller waves. Same playing field for everybody. We've seen a lot of the wave counts are really high through all our finals today. So the opportunities are there. And I can't wait to just watch Charlie bounce back here and respond to the 7.2 needed. She's got that number in her well and truly. And Lucy is off to a great start. Only ridden 2 and immediately now trying to upgrade that mid-6.
So you're saying Lucy had that board swap, just showing how much they've had to adapt to conditions this entire week. And we'll see this wave of Charlie. 7.20 is her requirement. Big first blast there. Tries to get around this section. We'll see if she does. So wraps it around a little tighter in the pocket there. We'll see if something happens on the inside. Unfortunately, she'll pull off of that one, but starting to find her rhythm again, trying to surf off what maybe for her is not how she expected things to start off. So plenty of time, 14.5, and it's just now a fight for first place.
I reckon that was almost a reset turn there for Charlie. You could see how much oomph she put into that. It was such a good manoeuvre. I reckon she's well and truly back right now after that little fall off before wave choice moment. That was much better. It was a big blast, a lot of spray flying around. Wouldn't surprise me if a good number drops through, but the judges, they're still rewarding. It's only a one-turn wave, so it's not going to drop into a 2, but it just looked like she really put a little bit extra venom into that move.
Yeah, she, as I mentioned before, you could see she's just getting rid of that. She had that determination face on. You could literally see her when she was paddling in. She was ready to go, and she's a warrior out here in the Rashi, and she's like, you know what? I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. And she's ready to go. And I think 7.2 is not a big ask for Charlie once she gets on one of those good waves. But Lucy holding that first priority could really squash that for Charlie right now. If Lucy especially can better a 6.53, which she's only ridden 2 waves. And I feel like the next time she gets to her feet, she'll probably get back into a top 2 and better the 6.53.
I mean, yeah, she already has her base. Now all she needs to do is improve. So she will definitely be cranking it up in her next few waves ridden in this heat, and she's not going to be holding back.
So I think she's just now trying to identify a better wave than what she's caught. So wisely sitting on priority, she's taking her time. Charlie's throwing a lot at her here, and she hasn't budged. So a good sort of tactic coming out now for Lucy. Just got to wait for a nice clean one, I reckon. She's found really good second sections on every one of her waves. That's earned her a majority of these 13.5 points. So she knows what the waves look like. I imagine if she could just find something a little bit bigger than that maybe, or one extra bonus clean section on the next wave, you're right, I reckon she'll really tee off here.
Yeah, wave selection is vital today. We saw that in the last heat. We'll just do a quick replay. This is the last of Charlie. Comes in at a 4.5. I love this turn. Really smashed into it. So practically a 4.5 for that one, because the rest was a little softer. The wave just not providing so much to work with. So if she can just do 2 or 3 of those turns, she's definitely going to be coming back into this heat.
Yep, and on the Bonsoir replay, you could see her puffing her cheeks out as she was driving hard off the bottom, and that's a bit of determination you were talking about there, True. So Charlie, for me, I reckon that was probably her best turn so far of this semi-final. It was just so good. The drone footage of this final, the drone footage was right there with her. Really strong connection there. So game on. Can't wait. Here's all the gangsters down there just checking it out as well.
Yeah,
Elliot in the tribe. Elliot.
Yeah, well, Lennox Smith is going to be in that final. He's there. He's got that knee brace on. He's nursing a meniscus injury. But he had a great semi-final with Teddy Billy, and he's got a really incredible support team around him. And I'm pretty sure Harley Walters was out there as his board caddy. They've been traveling together pretty closely. They're good mates as well. So for Lennox, he's got a great team around him, but so does Dylan. This next final is going to be pretty crazy because as good of a team as Lennox has, Dylan has one that's just as good as well.
Yeah, and I think the little point of difference is that, Lennox is here with his good friends and Dylan's here with his entire family. I think everyone came down for this event, and it's a huge moment for him. He's so young, and he's just excited to be out there. I don't think he has anything really to lose. He's not, 100% chasing the entire points. And I think this result came a little bit unexpected for them.
It's kind of fallen on his lap, although he's deserved it. He's here and he's just teed off, and he's grown as he's gone. He's got the red rash vest. You can see his posse is about, on average, 10 years younger than Lennox's posse. All the younger ones, there's Teo and just all the Mentawai crews. You can see Zoe down there, all just sending their mojo. So he sticks the headphones on. He's a super shy guy. It's hard to get much out of him with the post heats, but definitely was feeling the joy oozing out of him when we had that moment after his semi-final.
And fair enough too. A QS 6000 final is huge. He's 16 years old. I mean, that's pretty insane. And on screen there, Lennox, he's getting himself ready, opting for this board. It's looking smooth underfoot. Caleb Tancred's there, Harry O'Brien, and he's just making sure that he stays glued to his board. And it's been pretty incredible to watch Lennox just really open up in each heat throughout this whole event. So hopefully we can see a great battle between him and Dylan. We saw a pretty talkative one between him and Teddy, but it's the surfing that has to do the talking. So, I mean, it was actually cool to see them kind of go head-to-head, Giada, because they've both been ripping this whole event. And, for Teddy to be in the semis was such an incredible result.
Yeah, best result of his life. He said it a few times, and I think he was just so pumped to be there. He got the emotions got the best of him, and I was talking to Ben, like I said earlier, and Teddy's a little bit of an in-your-face competitor. So it was actually good to see that a little bit, to just show how much people really care. Usually people tend to just hide their emotion a little bit more when they're on screen, but that was just like a full Andy Kelly moment.
Yeah. Even like when Teddy gets ready for his heats, he's got his music on quite loud. He's like, he makes it known that he's there. He's like, I'm here. Know that I'm here and I'm getting ready and I'm already in your face before I've even paddled out. And it's like, I know that a lot of the Oz competitors aren't used to that. They're like, who is this kid? Like, why has he got like all of this music and then he like puts on like calm reggae stuff before he paddles out? It's like, what is going on?
Well, I think what it is, he's got Kian in his corner and he's just firing him up as well. It's, you can see Teddy's face and he's just so in the zone but so intense. And when you look at Kian, it's probably even more so. So Kian's really been just advising him to step up and don't back down and be that dude. And, Teddy's going out thinking, went out all his heats believing that he couldn't lose just with the fire that was in the belly, collecting his rash vest and going through his post-heat warm-up. So his drill worked well at this event. So I think a big takeaway for Teddy with an equal third here would be remember the things that worked. Remember the confidence of getting through heats. Remember how that feeling felt. And
I think he's just been authentically himself.
Yeah.
I think like this whole time he's just been so him that everyone's just like, this is you. And if this is how you're going to be, then be that,
and it's working.
Yeah, it worked. Some people were, it really gets to your head. You're like, wow, this kid is like sitting on me. He's on like in my space. And it was different. It was good to see that. And you're right. He's just like growing into himself.
Yeah, it's
Jumps
so
the set,
awesome.
ladies. Check this out. So second wave of the set. It's looking smooth enough for Lucy to pull the trigger here on priority. So this is his first tag. She's been finding joy second sections every final. Each wave in the final, and another good hit there, but I'm not sure whether that wave was the wave she really was waiting for. It was pretty good. I think she gets another number a little bit similar, but I don't think it'll be into a top two. Either way, the stage is set for a great final. It leaves Charlie now here with first priority.
Yeah, the score to lock in for Lucy. I know Ruby True is out there as her caddy, and Ruby would be giving some words of advice or for Charlie, Ruby True is her caddy, so she's probably willing a wave to Charlie. Lucy Darrah's dad is out there for her, and Charlie is having a look at this one. She needs a 7.2. She's looking for this section, straight up and into it for that first turn. You can hear the cheers. That's for Dylan Wilcoxon, but Charlie goes big once again, throwing so much spray. And you can see, wow, she's just feeling a bit frustrated. She wants that good second connection, and she just hasn't quite found it yet.
Yeah, gigantic first turn for me, really up and over the lip, and really was on a way to potentially attracting this 7.2. Maybe the second section just went a little flat. I agree. Looked like she was just a little frustrated at the end of that wave. But if it improves her, it might improve her total. I'm sure the 5 is probably Gonski. She's definitely given it a good belt at every opportunity, just not finding those first her waves as easily as those first 2 that rolled through for Lucy. Yeah, that was a massive G up out downstairs just then, wasn't it, as Dylan, for the last time before he could be the Nias champion, the last time he walks out from here, his camp and all the crew down here. It's just such a good story. Out of the mental-wise, tucked away. You couldn't be more tucked away in Indonesia if you tried, and he's come here. He's now in the blazing spotlight, which he's not unused to. And as you were saying about Teddy sort of poking Lennox and being that in-your-face guy, I reckon Dylan will not say a word to Lennox in this next final. So there's Lennox. He's already there.
Yeah, he's got 2 caddies out there with him. Looks like Caleb and Harley. They're just being there if he needs it. Last of Lucy locked in at a 6.5. Charlie's last score yet to lock in. Lennox looks like he's just debriefing. He's like, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to surf or whatever, And I think Lennox he's a talker before heats as well. I'm sure he loves to have a chat. So just getting himself in the zone. This last wave of Charlie just about to lock in. It's a 4.83. So doesn't go into the top 2. And it's, her waves just lacking that second good connection that we've seen from Lucy.
Yeah, both the last 2 rides, she's got really great first moves in, but just unable to find a bowly second section. So the situation on the scoreboard remains exactly the same. Both ladies just caught waves that did not lock into their top 2 or make their requirements any easier. So 3.5 minutes, but here goes Dylan now with his sole caddy, one of his boys out of the Mets with him.
Yeah, so Dylan's board caddy is Torik, one of his best friends. They spend a lot of time together. They're both from different islands in the Mentawai, so the only way they can actually hang out is like one goes to Kandui for a couple weeks, and the other one goes to I think it's Katiet, if I'm not wrong, for a couple weeks, and they spend so much time together. It's crazy that they never get bored of each other.
They're groms, right? So they're just surfing some of the best waves in the world. So what a gromhood these guys have had. It would be the envy of every grommet around the world to go, you live on Kandui, you get to go visit your mate at HT's and hang out there. Oh my God, does it get any better?
I think this is Dylan's ritual. I've seen him do that quite a few times before his heat. He doesn't jump into the water. He jumps on his board, stands calmly, puts his leash back on. It's funny how each athlete, prepares in a different way for their heat. Everyone has their ritual and things they have to do before they surf. Otherwise, they're like, no, I can't surf my heat. Otherwise, I'm going to lose. I got to do this and this and this. We see that from the top level athletes in the world to athletes in QS 1000s.
Yeah, it's just as important to everyone. And, it's nice to see Dylan finding that so early on in his career at just 16. And everyone, sometimes you catch it, sometimes it's, before they even get to the beach.
Yeah.
It might just be something different, but right now, Charlie needing a 7.2 gets a good first turn in. A little bit caught behind though, so unfortunately for Charlie, she's just not feeling it there. Chasing a 7.2, I don't think that'll be the score on the body language reflecting that.
Yeah, it's a smaller wave and just crumbly sections. So, the first two decisions by Lucy Dara are standing up pretty strong right now with the 7 and the 6.53. Happened 20 minutes ago, more than 20 minutes ago at the start of this final. So just finding those better second connections. Charlie just unable to find, as good a ways. It's been about the difference here. They're both very similar. Loving the way it's gone out for these ladies. It was a big week. I think we started with a round of 48 for the women's way back. I can't remember what day they surfed first, but there's been quite a few rounds to get here. And they both served probably 6 times to put themselves into this final. So I'm sure they would dearly love to both win this. She's swinging hard. She's tried a lot in this final. She's caught twice as many waves as Red. Still done a lot of power blasts and a lot of strong surfing herself, but just the difference is those second sections that Lucy's been finding early.
Yeah, so last 40 seconds of this heat is Lucy Dara taking a look at this one. She wants to improve that 6.53. Good first turn here. Sets it up again. We'll see if she does anything bigger here on the inside, but I don't want to speak too soon, but it's pretty safe to say that Lucy Dara is going to be your Nias Pro QS 6000.
Oh my goodness. This is so crazy. 15 years old with 5 seconds to go. Wow, I don't think Charlie gets another opportunity, and it is Lucy Dara taking the win at the 2025 Nias Pro QS 6000, and she's going to go and celebrate that with her dad out in the lineup. Wow.
What a moment.
That's incredible.
Unreal. I salute you, Lucy Dara, and also Charlie Haitley. That was just so much fun to watch these youngsters, just best friends. Dad's there. Doesn't get any better for Lucy Dara. That's just a magic day.
All right, guys. And with that, oh, wow, what a moment. Sorry, let's just absorb it. Lucy Dara, 15.
Yeah, wow.
But with that, we're going to head over to a quick break, and we will be on to the men's final.
That's a weird looking smoothie, Vorno.
Tell him, son, this ain't no smoothie. This is a smooth as broth base for our bonsai ramen.
How long should we wait, Master Ramen?
Patience, young noodle. Wait, and top secret, I need a corn. Behold, bonsai ramen.
San, this is
Absolutely cooking.
Welcome back. We are into the men's final of the 2025 Nias Pro. It is Dylan Wilcoxon out there with Lennox Smith, and what a huge final this one is going to be. And we just saw Lucy Dara take out the women's final, a 13.53 combination. What an incredible heat for Lucy. Charlie Haitley coming in a very respectable second there.
Yeah, the girls got to be careful here. They're about to attempt a chair off the reef. Hutty, young ladies. But there she is. What a moment for the young lady there in red. And her opponent, Charlie Haitley. Charlie's going to get involved in the chair off the rocks. Oops, I think they've been advised to get a little bit closer to the edge because the rock can be pretty sharp down there.
Yeah. We're going to welcome back into the booth as well Di Wacko for this men's final. And Di, it's the last heat of the QS 6000.
Last heat and a big matchup.
Big 6 days. So the advice is get off the reef first, ladies, and I reckon that solid effort. There we go. As they make their way over to the Hassan family surf camp, you'll hear the roar once they get a little closer to where we're parked up. A lot of athletes down here that will just send her, both these two, their respect, because that was a great effort from both of them.
Oh my goodness. This is absolutely incredible. Lucy, 15 years old, the 2025 Nias Pro champion. And this is her best ever QS result. Honestly, got goosebumps for her. I know how hard she works. She's an incredible young talent, an amazing person as well. Huge congratulations to Lucy. I know her family back home, I'm sure, are watching. So I feel like they'll be feeling all the emotions as well.
Tell you something else funny. I just got a message from Matt Glossop, who's over there at the Oki Grom comp. Lucy Dara's name is in the heat draw for tomorrow at the Oki Grom comp, but she's just won the biggest event that's going down right now, the Nias Pro, 6,000 points. What a day. So she may end up missing that heat, so it could be a sigh of relief for some of the other
so
ladies. I know, but that was just a little stat. So thanks, Matt. Cool. All right, it's all about these two now. That's the moment they had in the water, all right. So thanks for our flight cam for revisiting the ladies, just the best friends, just enjoying a feel-good moment here. It'll be something they'll never forget right now, this moment coming in. It's done and dusted. The pressure's off. First wave now for our men's final is Dylan Wilcoxon.
Yeah, flying down the line. You can hear the screams from everyone. Big first turn for Dylan. Gets a second one in as well. He's already looking onto his way to a good one, unfortunately. Coming unstuck for Dylan, but a great way to start his campaign in this heat.
How are the lounge jockeys downstairs going nuts, Di? There's a lot of support for that young man, right?
A lot of supporters down the athlete area, and it's big noise.
So you can see he's freed up here. It's a final. There was no sign of nerves just then. He went for it big time. You know, when we see the replay, you'll just see how well his timing was to get to this second section and tag it. It was just so sick. So the young ladies are just in the Hash Family Surf Camp right now, down in the athlete zone. I think we're still going to get a post-final interview right after this wave of Lennox Smiths.
Lennox up and riding. This is a good-looking wave. Nice first turn. And gets the second turn in. Is he going to get the third? Yes. Oh, that's a little bit stuck on the rail, but still great surfing from Lennox as well. Big answer back. Wow. A lot of noise from the athlete area.
Lots of noise. A 4.67 for Dylan Wilcoxon's first wave. Lennox has his score to lock in. He is managing that meniscus injury, so just starting to fire up in this heat. We saw him have an incredible semi-final with Teddy Billy, so I'm sure he'll start to fire up right now. Maybe just needs to oil the joints a little bit, but yeah, Dylan, 4.67 for his first wave. That's a good way to start. But before we go anywhere, it's this interview with Lucy Dara that everyone has been waiting for. She's a 2025 Nias Pro champion, and she's down there with Giada Lagarde.
Lucy Dara, you're officially the Nias Pro QS 6,000 winner. How are you feeling right now?
I can't believe it. I'm so stoked. There's so many good servers in this comp, like Charlie especially. Like, she absolutely ripped, so I can't believe I won.
I know you two are good friends, and you know this is your first final and best result. What were you telling yourself? How did you keep such a calm composure out there?
It was so cool that I got to have a final with Charlie. Like, we were both just laughing, I guess, just having a chat out there. So it was super relaxed, and I guess it was just really chill. I'm so stoked.
All right, what are you going to do with the prize money?
I think I got to pay my dad back for all the flights and everything, but hopefully I can put it towards an Indo trip.
All right, and I'm sure there is so many people watching at home super happy for you right now. What do you want to say to everyone?
I just want to thank my mum, my little brothers and my sister for watching me, and my sponsors, especially Wave Creations, for the best boards. I also want to thank my uncle and my cousins, and Poppy O'Reilly and Layla Fraser for watching as well.
All All right, a huge congratulations. You don't get only one, but two bang bangs on this one. You are a Nias QS 6000 winner. Congratulations.
Thanks, Giada.
Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, thanks, G. Lucy Dara, double bang bangs for winning the grand final. So sick. The numbers are in, everybody, on your screen. Half a point advantage to the Australian, to Will Coxon, actually, the Mentawaian there. 4-6-7 versus a 4-1-7. So it's a bit of an arm wrestle early, a bit of a 0-0 draw right there, Di. You would be expecting at the end of these next 26.5 minutes, both those numbers will vanish. I reckon we're in for some aerial antics and some ripping and slashing of the highest order.
Definitely, we will be seeing to they get rid of these mid fours, because we're seeing a lot of 7s and 8s in the semifinals and air games as well. So can't wait to see them going to the air or big snaps.
Yep. So priority also sits with Dylan. They both got a lot of support in their camp, but gee, Lucy was just the flavour of the hour down there out in front of the Hashan family surf camp. Gigantic result. Just gave Maddie a shout out. Yeah, she's in the draw over there at the Oki Grom Comp as well. How's that? So she was double dipping, but so what? I mean, 6,000 points, $10,000.
Wow.
The trophy, the kudos, the speech that'll be coming this afternoon, no doubt, when we have the prezos. It's got to be the best day of that young lady's life. How was she feeling? True, you just went down there to give her a hug?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just couldn't help
That's
myself.
all right.
So proud of her. I mean, she is so over the moon. She's, I think, maybe feeling a little bit of shock, but you cannot wipe that huge smile off her face right now. She's so stoked. I mean, a win here at the QS 6000. I was like, are you going to the Oki? She goes, nah. And I was like, no, you just won a QS 6000. Stay and celebrate and then have as many bang bangs as you want, because that was, yeah, so incredible. Her dad was really happy as well. And this is Dylan Wilcoxon up and riding.
All right, let's have a look at his second manoeuvre. A big foam climb, gets a little momentarily stuck. He's playing on, though. He's investigating another section. A little bit of a layback into the wash. A little bit of a moment. Down he goes, but I can hear some hooting and hollering out the back because the big fella's on here.
Let's go, Lennox. Another big turn, but goes down. Unfortunately for Lennox, and you can hear cheers for from both sides of the camps.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this.
See it.
Bring it on, boys. What's the young fella got in the tank? Can he outmuscle Lennox Smith here? So, yep, you're right. Both the camps were hootering and hollering each time their surfer was hit taggy sections. There was even a bit of a moment when there was a fall because everybody's so invested in this. Oh, did the duck dive cost Dylan? And the nose in front of in front of Lennox here, their arm.
Wow,
shoulder to shoulder.
Neck and neck between Lennox and Dylan right now. Who will get the priority? This is a huge battle. Wow, what emotions, what an incredible moment. And
So Dylan cuts in front. He wins the priority battle there. Youth and its excitement coming out right there. So anyway, that's only one moment of our grand final. We've got some scores to come. Both these guys are owed a wave, and I heard some pretty crazy noise going on for Lennox. I think he got a good one.
Yeah, this is Dylan, though. Quick float for that first turn. The second turn, again, over the whitewash. Probably not the wave he was hoping for Dylan. I know he's looking to really open up. Gets a good carve in there, but unfortunately just loses the footing. And then out the back behind him, Lennox.
Wow. First turn, nice flows, and gets the second turn. And that was a huge turn from Lennox. And unfortunately, he comes unstuck on the third one, but definitely a lot of damage done at the back. Those two turns were huge.
Yep. On a big clean wave as well. So now the youngster Dylan, he's on his third effort. So tagging it. It's got a clean third section. Hits it again. Wow. Hits it high. Hits it late and recovers right straight out. You can just about barely hear myself think down here. The crew downstairs are going nuts. So everybody's so into this grand final. We'll know who our dual champions are in the next 22 minutes, but it's looking like an exciting men's final unfolding true.
Yeah, let's take another look at this. It's a smaller inside wave. I mean, Dylan does some great surfing on it, but probably not as lethal as he was hoping. He gets those two-turn connections, but it's not the surfing we've been seeing from him. I don't think this wave is going to factor in by the end of this heat, if I'm going to be honest. He's an incredible surfer, but I know that he can do much more than what we just saw in that last wave.
With his last couple of efforts and the waves and they haven't panned out, I reckon right now he's thinking air, go to my air game. And why not? It served him so well to this point. The ramps are out there, the landings, the soft landings with this onshore are there. So I wouldn't surprise me one little bit if Dylan really steps it up next wave. He's had a couple of little probably throwaway moments. But there will be a good score to lock in for Lennox because that was a bigger, cleaner wave die. Had he made that third move, you probably would have seen a number in the excellent range.
Definitely, he was on the way to the excellent score if he could have made that last turn. But still, the two big hits will get him into the healthy position, you know. So
it'll still be a good score,
yeah,
I
definitely.
believe.
Judges
Especially that second turn.
Right. That second turn, really like the second turn, actually. He just tags it in the right place at right time and, you know, throw three fins out. So that's great surfing.
Yep. All right, well, the judges are having a good think about it because I think this will set the tone and the scale for this final. I think it's our first good score that's about to drop. So the boys are probably really re-watching the brutality of his first two turns. Went for a big time on his third hit. That number is in. They didn't get too carried away with it, but it is the biggest score. It's a 5.93. So, gee, he makes that last turn. It's got to be close to 8, right? That was probably his biggest move of that wave. So I'd like to see the replay of it all again because he surfed probably one of the better waves I've seen come through for maybe even the last hour. It was such a clean set wave. It was the second wave of the set. It was right behind Dylan's.
Yeah, 5.93 for two turns for Lennox. A good score. Holds that first priority now in the lead. His second wave is a 4.17, and you'd have to think he's ready to better that. He knows where he's sitting. 5.21 is what Dylan is looking for with second prio. He's making his way a little bit further in, trying to just get some space away from Lennox. And what an incredible final this has been already with 20 minutes to go. We still have a fair bit of time, a fair bit of surfing and waves to be caught as well.
So Dylan did this against Elliott as well. Remember when he didn't have priority, he just went in there a little bit and took off on some slightly smaller waves and started boosting, all right, and started taking to the airspace. So I think his mindset now is, right, let's just go there again. Let's open up my range and open up my manoeuvres, build his confidence in these back 19 and a bit minutes with some air work.
Well, he has nothing to lose. Neither of these surfers do, you know. They can go to the air or just go absolutely crazy in this final and see what comes of it. Lennox from the south coast of New South Wales, that Barrack Point area, and this is the first exchange. The best two waves of Dylan. This is a 4.67 to start off with. Wow. Great opening carve die.
And it gets the second turn in. That's a nice connection between turns. They get the third turn over the white wall, but comes unstuck, unfortunately, but still. 4.67 was a great way to start this heat, and this is Dylan's last wave, 4.90. Nice first turn, and gets a quick two turns in. But like you said, Drew, this is not a wave he was looking for. Probably he want to have the section to hit really hard and maybe into the air. So definitely, there's a plenty of times, and he has awesome air games.
Yeah.
Well, here he goes, investigating these medium inside waves now. So his intentions will be clear. There's a gigantic air about to come up. The big alley-oop, ladies and gentlemen. He lands on the roof. Cannot ride out. We all saw that, but this is the way he's thinking right now. When he's in that frame of mind, it's good for us because the viewing is going to be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately for Dylan, not getting the completion, that would have been pretty crazy. And both Dylan and Lennox are pretty good in the air as well. So, maybe we'll see an air fest, who knows. But let's take a look at this one. It was pretty lofty.
Wow, that was a big alley-oop. It pretty much, landed on the, surfboard, but couldn't quite stick to the landing. He made it for yesterday round of quarters.
Yeah.
But at the back.
Good wave down for Blue. No, doesn't like it down the line. All right. So what I really liked about Dylan was the whole height and the effort of that alley-oop. He did everything correct. He landed with his feet on the board in perfect position, just couldn't ride down the face. So his confidence will still be high because it wasn't like he lost contact with his board and was just a throwaway. It was kind of a completion, but not riding out. So no numbers attached to this score realistically, but at least he's thinking the right way, I reckon.
Right, especially in a under priority situation, you kind of need to go big. It doesn't matter if you fall, just need to go big and try to get in the rhythm with Ocean. And Dylan, he can do big airs, and he did that yesterday, and he ride out of it. So yeah, he'll be continuing doing that through the game. So
well, his biggest waves of the whole, his biggest numbers of the whole Nias Pro have come off his air game yesterday. He's 9, he's 8.5, his throwaway 8 was a tube ride, but so he's probably just got to reassess and go, okay, 16 minutes. I've got to win a grand final. What do I need to do? Air game is undeniably, spectacular. So I reckon why not keep rolling the dice? It'll stick sooner or later. So you'll land something big.
You can see Lennox there taking some time to himself. He's got that first priority, so he gets the next best wave that rolls through, or whichever one he is looking for. 5.93 and a 4.17 he has right now. It has him in the lead, and it's just a 10.1 combination of scores so far that has Lennox out in front. But that 5.93, if he hadn't made that third turn, we probably would have been seeing some bigger numbers, I think, die.
Definitely.
And I think we'll see it start to grow throughout the rest of this heat.
Lennox has such a great rail work, so probably he will be sticking to the turns, and I think Dylan will be trying to do, a lot of airs, so different approach from two of the surfers. It's just so entertainment to watch, but looks like motion out there.
Yeah, so Lennox paddles over this. He's probably well, they both drifted in a little bit and out of position. Happens when you sort of sit around for extended moments. The lineup is non-stop moving. The currents coming into this bay, they don't give up, so they just kind of drifted off perhaps the ideal takeoff position. 15. I hope you're being entertained at home, everybody. I'm still certain the best is yet to come. Sitting on a high 5 and a bunch of 4s, I reckon this final will look a whole lot different at the end of this. Here we go.
Yeah, Dylan up and into this one. You know what we're looking for. Drops down. Big turn to start this one off. Gets a second connection in. He's chasing a 5.21. Drives through a turn. So Dylan goes to turns. Gets another nice carve in. He's looking fired up in this final. And, gaining some speed. He's really smooth off the bottom. So 5.21. He needs to go up into second. What are your thoughts, Di?
It's going to be close. It was a great combination, like 2 or 3 turns combination. But I'm pretty sure that he was looking for the air section to go in the air. But that was great, solid turns. It's gonna be close to it.
I still think I think he'll get it. I like the rapid fireness between those moves. His body language. He just had the perfect read on every section. He fitted them in because he was so into it, and you could just see in his body language and just how quick he powered between the moves that he was super well balanced. He had the sections, and he really stepped it up a little bit more on this wave. So I think it's his best score. I think a 5.21. I think it could be every bit of that. So the judges are probably just deciding whether they want to give that the nod over the power mongering of Lennox's bigger wave. But it still looked really good. He's in the zone right now.
Yeah, smooth surfing from Dylan. He's put together some pretty incredible heats up until this moment. Lennox Smith as well. He had a great quarterfinal with one of his mates, Ben Lorenzen, yesterday. Nursing a meniscus injury, but he's still looking as powerful and as ready for a QS win as ever. Last of Dylan Wilcoxon, it's a 5.33, just gets the score. Moves up into first, so Lennox holding first priority. He's looking for a 4.31 to go to first. This is really, really close between both him and Dylan right now.
0.13. So the judge is appreciating just that extra bit of body talk and rapid fire surfing. Here's the replay again, everybody. So just watch how everything clicked for him here. There was no downtime. Took his time with his first turn, and then from there, look how quick he went into that second turn. All right, and then ripped straight into a big third turn here as well. Nice slash out there. At least it was off the top of the top half of the wave. A little wrap around. Forget about the fact that he fell there. He's got the number. He's in the lead. His fans down there in the athlete area are just losing it, but it just about couldn't be much closer than what it is right now.
Super close heat in between two of the surfers. So now Lennox is waiting for the right ones and trying to get rid of the 4.17, but definitely he will be doing that in the next wave. But
there's an air coming up here for sure.
Right.
True.
Yeah, Dylan is flying down the line. This one just doesn't really offer it. He gets a little bit caught behind. So he will regroup and get back out there. You could hear the cheers from everyone trying to hype it up, but that wave not cooperating for Dylan.
No.
He's just catching a few under the priority of Lennox right now. And I love that he's trying to gain some momentum, and Lennox is holding firm, having a good look at this one. Lennox Smith up and riding, needs a 4.3 to go to first. Nice first turn connection, doesn't like the rest of it, so he gets out of there. Back in front of Lennox Smith, Dylan Wilcoxon, and he's might just regain that first priority.
Really smart move from Lennox Smith. You know, he trying to get first turn in, just investigating all the waves, and he thought that wave is not going to offer him a much more, so he decided to kick out. But
all right, this is Lennox's corner. All the boys down here under the big filming tower, trying to find any bit of shade possible. Let me see, what is it? It's 11:20 down here. Elliot's just trying to delete the drone. So there they all are. We're hearing lots of hooting and hollering from that corner, and their whole athlete zone is full of Dylan's clan. So, geez, they've got a big posse each, haven't they?
Yeah, and what an incredible support team for each surfer in this heat. I mean, you can hear the cheers, you can hear how loud they are. And right now, it's Dylan Wilcoxon out in front. 10 minutes to go in this final. Lennox chasing a 4.31, holding first priority. Once again, he's waiting for one of those bigger waves. It seems like those last few waves he's had, it seems like he's looking for a particular type of wave to come through.
Like he knows what to get for him to get those requirements. Probably he's not looking for the requirement now. Probably looking to get mid 6 or 7 or 8, and he knows what kind of wave he wants.
Yeah, he does, and he's not going to stay on a wave if he doesn't think it's going to be the score. And I think he's looking for more of a 6 as opposed to a 4.3. A few celebrations down there before the final is finished from the Dylan Wilcoxon crew. Still 9.5 minutes to go. There's plenty of time. It's not over until that hooter goes. You just never know what's going to happen.
I reckon Dylan's got a slightly different mindset right now than Lennox. I reckon he just wants to boost, so he's pretty sitting in a little bit more again, which was his tactic previously when he was up against Elliot in that semi-final. I think he's squarely wants to show his air game. You can see him now. He's looking pretty relaxed. He just got the lead by such a small margin, just 0.13. So they're both just having a little moment here to reset and gather their thoughts and go, right, it's come down to 8 minutes. We've surfed, 27 minutes, and it's still just about a draw.
But definitely Dylan's looking for the air section, to get rid of the 4.90 to put a lot of pressures onto Lennox Smith. So it's going to be an interesting 8 minutes. And
so I still reckon in this final I think Lennox has caught the best wave.
Right.
That first one. If he had capitalised on that big third slash, these score lines would be a fair bit different.
Right.
He'd have a clear advantage, I reckon.
Would have been making a huge difference, in the leaderboard. But, that's a sign that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for them to score good scores. So, can't wait to see that set coming.
All right. Well, we've had 6 long days, you two. So starting with you, Di, your best moments of the Nias Pro this year?
Well, I gotta say it's now, all the vibes and all the supporters just watching this heat particularly. So I'm really loving this moment right now.
All right.
Probably this is the highlights.
Very cool.
Mhm.
True. Same question.
Lucy winning.
There you go. Okay, nice.
That for me was a highlight moment. Day 4, highlight day, highlight moment, Lucy winning. That was, and you know what? That whole final, Charlie coming in second was pretty incredible too. But just so happy for Lucy to take that win. It's going to be a big moment in her career, maybe a turning point. Who knows? At such a young age as well.
Yep.
What about you, Mark?
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with just the performance of Dylan. Having watching him surf over the last 2 or 3 years, watching him get better every time he comes to a fresh event with the rash vest on. For his story to be here, and regardless of a win or a first or a second here, I still think, for me, the feel-good story is Dylan being in this grand final and right now in the lead. So Ben Lorenzen's tube was still the highest number, but the moments that have come out of this event, and then Kia Hewer as well, and Charlie Haitley to at 16 to achieve what these crew have done. It's testament to the depth of the surfing that comes with this Asian region, with the dual sanctioned. It's gnarly. There's so many epic names that were in the draw 6 days ago, and we're down to this. It's 6 minutes, and it's just about a draw in the grand final. It's just brimming with talent, this whole pool.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
been an incredible week of surfing. Dylan up and into this one. You can hear the cheers. He's seeing something. Goes to the air. Gets a rotation to complete it. And a second turn in for Dylan Wilcoxon. Well surfed wave. Finding a carve as well. You can hear the cheers. Needs to better a 4.9. Let's see what happens. Wow. Big wave there for Dylan Wilcoxon.
What a moment. Turning point of the grand final. Could it be? Because they were almost neck and neck before that wave was caught. Di, what do you reckon?
Wow, definitely it's going to be a best score in this heat. He did great job on the 2 turns.
Flushed it.
Yeah.
Flushed that first air as well, didn't he, True? Did you like how he just paced himself and just the confidence is right there. You can see it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it at all. He's looking confident in this heat. He's been looking confident throughout the whole event. And as I said, calling the wave, it was huge, and I love that he's just going to that. That's obviously a strength for him, and he can pull it out of his back pocket whenever he needs. So scores for Dylan to come through with 5 minutes to go in this heat. This is a crazy, crazy final. It comes
There
in.
it
It's
is.
a 7.5.
Wow.
For Dylan Wilcoxon, extending his lead. Lennox now chasing a 6.91 with 4.5 minutes to go. Crazy 4.5.
Wow.
I mean, I can't believe it. It's just been an incredible final so far.
I haven't heard a bigger roar this week than when Dylan landed that and flicked off that wave just then. The crew out in front of the restaurant here just went absolutely berserk. It's not done yet, though. We know this fella here, Lennox, can get a 6.91. He just needs the wave, and he, as you've said earlier, he knows what sort of wave he wants, and he's just sort of parked up, and he's not prepared to throw his hat in the ring on anything that's a bit sub or a bit under that. How's the crew down there?
Big supporters for Dylan.
Well, the Indonesian
Wow.
flag, just for every Indonesian on the beach as well to be in this position. Here he goes. Is he going again? So right on cue, we knew he was going to sort of, land one of those things eventually. He sat inside. He was more than happy to take a mid-sized wave there because he identified that, he's going to stick an air soon. And then his connection coming out of this air was so good, True.
Wow, he got this wave. He was on a priority, but gets in the air and it gets the second turn in. That was a great 2-turn combo, and it gets the bonus section here, but those 2 turns were amazing.
Yeah, that was huge for Dylan, and 7.5 well rewarded for that surfing as well. And just, that rhythm and momentum in this heat on that 7 wave, it's his best one, and it seems like it's working for him. He's got that Grom mentality. And 3 minutes to go. He could be 3 minutes closer to his first ever QS 6000 win here. And wouldn't that be so exciting for Dylan and the family and support team he has around him? But Lennox only needs a 6.91, and we have to remember that he's been dropping huge scores. He got an 8.5 and a 7 in his semi-final. So he's still one to one to look out for as well. You can hear the cheers from the Indo team down there in Dylan's corner. They've already got the flag up there. They're ready to go, but yeah, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
We'll see what
I'd
happens.
love to see the replay of the 7-5 again. Maybe the boys can cue it up again. It was a confident air. He didn't throw it into reverse, but he just gave it a one pump and got up there and so tagged this second section again. So let's watch it. And you watch just how rapid fire coming out of this air. His control was just, it's so spot on that there's zero downtime. As soon as he spins it around, one pump. Watch this. Boom. So huge money moment there. Just combination of major manoeuvres is a part of the criteria. That was on display right there. So I salute you, Dylan Wilcoxon. Brilliant surfing.
Big surfing for Dylan. Lennox has been holding priority for quite a while now. Holding the nerves, keeping everything in and waiting to just unleash it on what might be his next opportunity in the next minute and 25 seconds. Will there be another wave die? This is a really, really close finish.
691 is not a big score for Lennox Smith. Just like you said, he just needs to get on those right ones on the set, and definitely he is capable of getting those 691. But just minutes to go in this heat. Time's ticking for Lennox Smith.
Ooh, exactly a minute. Lennox is investigating here. Does he commit? I think he does. Here we go, True.
Yep, Lennox Smith up and riding, chasing a 6.91. Good first turn. Wow, unfortunately comes unstuck. He had to go big for Lennox Smith, but not getting the completion. You can hear the cheers.
Wow.
And 35 seconds to go. Is there going to be another opportunity? Dylan just paddles down to Lennox. He's like, oh my goodness. I mean, this last one at Lennox, if he had made that second turn, could have pushed for the score.
Definitely he was on the way to the requirement, but unfortunately he falls off the last 15 seconds to go.
He had to go big, so it was a smart move with literally 10
they could
seconds.
see. There we go. Look at this for a bit of sportsmanship, everybody. Out there in the world-famous Saraki Beach lineup. Two combatants go. Just show each other a bit of respect after a long 6 days. And there he is. Oh, what a feel-good moment. I think I got chicken skin. That was so good.
Yeah.
Well done, you two. Thanks for sitting in on that men's final. That was just such a moment, True. You loving it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Guy,
It was a great
how
fun.
good.
It was amazing. Just
Yeah.
entertaining and
Oh, man, it's
Wow.
like Independence Day down here because an Indonesian and a young one at that, out of the mental eyes, has just won the men's division of a 6,000, his biggest event he's ever been in. Oh, this beach is going to explode.
Celebrating that moment with his
There
best
he
mate.
is.
And wow, an incredible win for Dylan Wilcoxon, 2025 Nias Pro champion, and he's loving it. I mean, what an incredible event he's had so far, and to just tie the knot at the end was pretty, magic moments.
Surfs his way all the way down to his clan on the rocks. We're going to have to stay with the overhead drone footage of this because this is absolutely golden moment in sport, in surfing history, in what's gone on these shores at Lagundri Bay, Saraki Beach. This is just such a feel-good moment for all his team. Look at him. They're just tracking him down here. We'll just stay with these images for everyone present online. Thanks for being part of it. Just enjoy this moment with us because you can't script this stuff.
Wow, incredible moment for Dylan. What a huge win. Big hugs there from everyone around, and they're just, a great moment. Dylan Wilcoxon getting the win. Who's probably going to be in the Pro Junior tomorrow. He needs to go back to back.
There it is, the Indonesian flag flying proudly. The surfboard at the back, his gang are all over him. The media want every piece of him right now. He's super shy. Does he open up with a speech here today and actually give us a bit more than what he has in the past because he's kind of reserved? All right, I guess I'll go down and do a post-heat interview with him. Post-final interview.
Wow.
I'll whip down there, guys.
That was amazing. Dylan Wilcoxon gets the win over Lennox Smith. What a crazy performance. He's getting chaired all the way into hash.
Wow, here
Wow. You can hear the cheers from everyone down here, and what an incredible show. Dylan, you can see Giada there. She's going, what is going on?
Definitely, she's so happy with that result. But it's a
Wow.
great moment for all the Indonesian team and a lot of supporters for Dylan. And everyone gets around in this hash athlete area now.
Yeah, hopefully we get to have a chat with Dylan. We'll try and get him down there with Mark. He's, wow, just giving the hugs all around. What an incredible performance. I mean, what an amazing final between him and Lennox Smith. A huge
Definitely.
congratulations to Lennox as well. He was just able to put together a great show, getting an injury yesterday and still performing at his best. Wow. Big tears, big emotions down there, big smiles for Dylan. Wow. Huge.
Yeah.
Kiani's just, he's so stoked for him. I mean, you can see the hype up there. Rafa Castro as well. Wow. 2025 Nias Pro champion is Dylan Will Coxon. Oh, big emotions, big tears.
The crowds cannot stop cheering, but
well, I mean, this is a pretty incredible performance. Mark is down there. He's got a box of bang bangs. I feel like we're ready to go. Mark, let's take it away.
Huge moment down here out the front of the Hashem family surf camp. Dylan Wilcoxon, is this the best moment of your life?
Best moment of my life for sure. What a dream come true. I'm so stoked. Thank you everyone for supporting me. My dad, my brother, my sisters, and everyone. And River and Matt, all of them watching in California. I love you guys.
There's people down here with tears in their eyes, folks. Literally. Dylan, I'm going to just say, would you like to throw some big bags out to all your clan? Everybody, Dylan Wilcoxon!
Congratulations, Dylan Wilcoxon. Wow. That was incredible. What a huge win there for Dylan. An incredible event, Di.
right. What an incredible week. We've seen a lot of big scores, big barrels, big turns, and this final is just amazing to finish off.
Yeah. Wow. An amazing week. So huge. Big congratulations to Dylan Wilcoxon. Wow. Well, the action is not over. We do have the Pro Juniors. They'll be starting tomorrow, but an incredible week this week at the Nias Pro with Dylan Wilcoxon taking it out, as well as Lucy Dara for the women. We're going to have some more surfing tomorrow morning with the Nias Pro Junior. We'll see you guys bright and early. Thanks for a great week.
The young ladies in the group, please, Lucy and Charlie, we're hoping to do a presentation out in front of the Hash family circuit. So we need Charlie Haley and Lucy Dara, and then those men's champions, please. Okay, we get Charlie and Lucy, if you could come down here, please. We want to do
All right, let's do this. We'd like to call up our third places, please, on the ladies' side of the draw. So if we could get Alan McCaffrey and Kia Hewer to come up, please, and accept your third place checks. Thanks, ladies. Well done, you. Well done, Ella. All right. Yay. What a big moment for both these ladies. But our finalists and our runner-up here today, Charlie Haitley, everybody. Put your hands together for Charlie. Come on. And the winner on the women's side of the draw, she's 15 years of age. Can you believe it? Her name is Lucy Dara. Everybody put your hands together for Lucy. So thank you very much, ladies. We love your work, everybody. That's what our finalists look like on the women's side of the draw after many, many rounds of surfing. Congratulations, everybody. Let's just put our hands together one more time for our finalists on the women's side of the draw. Thanks, girls. That was so good. Well done, Lucy. Oh, Lucy, would you like to come and have another word and just tell us what you're feeling right now? Lucy, I asked Dylan this question. I'll ask you. Is this the best moment of your life right now?
It actually is. I can't believe it. I'm so stoked.
How special was that moment in the channel with your dad when you won and he was right there?
Oh, it's amazing. Like, I wouldn't have come here without my dad. Like, he's helped me so much. He's brought me here, so I'm so stoked I could share that moment with him.
Thanks for the entertainment today. That was awesome. And everybody, put your hands together one more time for our champion, Lucy Dara. Thank you, Lucy. All right, let's bring up the men's. Let's welcome third placings, Teddy Billy and Elliot Parada-Reed. If they could both come up to the front, please. Elliot, a job well done this week. Teddy, awesome. You guys could collect your... Well done, Elliot. Really enjoyed the entertainment, gentlemen. Big breakout events for both these guys. Some of their best results ever at a high-end QS event. So my congratulations to Alex and Teddy. Awesome. Runner-up here today, though, his name is an Aussie. He did a really good job, and his name is Lennox Smith. Could everybody please welcome Lennox up to the podium? Nice work. Well done, Lennox, all week. It's been a big week. 6 days. 6 days to get to this point, everybody. Dylan Wilcoxon. Down that in. Oh, well done, brother. All right, let's make it official. There it is. That's what let's turn it up the right way. Everybody, put your hands together for Dylan and the finalists. Hey. All right. So awesome. What a huge moment, everybody. We might just get a quick little sign-off word from our champion here. He's only 16 years of age, out of the mentawise. But Dylan, being Indonesian, how much of a big day is this, not just for yourself, but for the whole of Indonesia?
Wow, what a dream come true. Super stoked to win this event. My dad always said one day I'd win this event, and today's my lucky day. Yeah, I'm super stoked.
Dad knows, yeah. All right, so the career's looking good, mate. And your dad's been dragging the whole Mentawai team around too for the last couple of years, Ray. Respect. But how good is it to have a solid gang right next to you this week?
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I grew up with all these guys. I'm so stoked. Yeah.
All right, let's just put our hands together for one more time for all these 4 surfers, please. Thank you, everybody. There will be an opening, closing ceremony later today up there under the big tent. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at the closing ceremony. Cheers, boys. Thank you. Thanks, Nate. Well done again. Thanks for well done, Al. Thanks, bro. Kia ora, cuz. Yeah. So good. Young people. Loved what you did this week.
Thank you.
Good on you.
Thanks for the great event. Sorry.
Thank you.